and welcome to the United Stand. A brand new season is upon us and we've got a brand new team, and it doesn't include Matic and it doesn't include Mata, and those for me are the two big things. They're the two big things that I'm very, very happy about going into this game. Look, we haven't necessarily got the signings we wanted to have. We haven't, but we have got a team that I'm very, very, very happy with. I'm very happy with that team for Manchester United. I don't know why the timer's up and running. Let's just turn that off. We're going to have a few glitches in the system, but it's a new look for the United Stand. A massive shout out for the Draughty Devil for the great work that he's done for us. And also thank you to OneFootball, the OneFootball app, who are sponsoring the watch along today. You can download the OneFootball app. The link is in the video description. We'll be talking about that more in a moment. But if you want all your in-match stats, all your Manchester United news, you can feed it into the watch along whilst we're doing it. The link is in the video description for that. But how are we all feeling? You know what? Are you actually excited? Are you actually excited? Because I am. I really did not expect Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to pick Matic. I really expected him to pick Matic and Mata, and he hasn't done that. Now, the bench, as far as I remember off the top of my head, we'll go to that in a moment, but it's Romero, Young, Twansibi, Matic, Mata, and I definitely Mason Greenwood, and I've forgotten the other player who's on the bench. Let me have a quick look for you. It's Mata, Greenwood, Young. Oh, Daniel James. So no place for Fred on the bench, which is a little bit disappointing, but you can't argue with that team. You can't argue with that lineup. Martial, will he play through the middle, or will Rashford play through the middle? I'm actually one of those fans who was quite happy with Lingard playing today. I would like to have seen Angel Gomez on the bench. I think we all would have liked to have seen that. But I'm very, very happy with that team. And look, new season, new start. And I think it's very rare that you start a season excited with a Manchester United lineup. There's normally one or two players in there that you get a little bit, oh God, they're playing. Not today. That is a really good United lineup. I mean, look, I still think we've got to put our hands up and say that the midfield is a bit of a concern. Ashley Young on the bench isn't ideal, Matthew Eden, but I would have expected that. But the point you've got to look, you can't have it all in one day. And Mr. B says, I love the lineup. Kante benched and gonna win 3-1. Haven't seen the Chelsea lineup, but we'll bring that for you now. But look, you can't have everything you want. But I think if you'd offered me that lineup this morning, I would have eaten it. I would have eaten every crumb of it, because I'm very, very happy with it. Chelsea's lineup: Kepa in goal, Aspilicueta, Christensen, Zuma, Emerson, Kovacic, Jorginho, and Mason Mount plays. Ross Barkley, Pedro, and Abraham. I think that team's there to be beat. I don't think that's a very strong Chelsea side at all. No place for Kante, no place for Pulisic. So yeah, I don't think that's the strongest side Chelsea could put out. I think they're there to be beat. I think they're there to be beat to everybody today. I really do. I think that's what United have got to go out and do. So look, very, very, very pleased with that lineup. Let's confirm it for you. David De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw. Oh, it makes you want to throw up in joy instead of throwing up in despair. I just feel so to have a back five like that going into a new season. Mcguire's my man. We'll be talking about him a little bit. But then you move into the midfield. McTominay, Pereira and Pogba. Will it be a 4-3-3 or will it be a 4-2-3-1? Some people are talking about that. We've lined it up like that because it looks pretty, but it could be different to that. I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep over anything like about what the actual lineup is. We'll figure that out when the game starts. But McTominay, Pereira and Pogba, it gives us that sort of speed in the midfield. It gives us that youthfulness. It gives us that urgency and tenacity. And I think it's a really big statement to drop Matic in the first game of the season. David De Gea is captain, which I think is the right choice, and I think a lot of people, we were talking about this last night on the 8 o'clock stream, will be happy with that. And then Martial, Rashford and Lingard up front. And let's not forget, it was Martial and Rashford and Lingard who started the journey as that front three for Manchester United. So look, I can't be positive enough. I think that the transfer window was somewhat disappointing, and I think we all accept that. But the transfer window is gone. I've said that. And look, you know what? It's gone. And we have to go with what we've got. And I've used that analogy before. I'm going to keep using it again. If you didn't watch the show last night, what did I say? The reality is, we ordered a load of weapons to go to war with, and the Glazers did not provide them. But there is no retreat at Manchester United. We don't turn around. There's a battle today. It starts at 4:30. And yeah, we might not have the weapons we want to, but we're going to go and fight. And that's what we've got to do. No Chuckle Brothers, says Extra E. Yeah, no Chuckle Brothers. Please do share the link and subscribe. Thank you, says Luca. That's a great idea. And please do smash a like on the video. We want to get 2,000 likes before kickoff. We're superstitious and we want to start off the season. Arsenal are beating Newcastle 1-0 at the moment. And look, they are a rival of ours this season. So you don't want to be losing ground to anybody. And I think that Chelsea side's there to be beaten. They're playing Tammy Abraham up front. Come on. I mean, he played well for Villa, but I don't rate him that much. Mason Mount, another young player, fair play. What I would say is fair play to Lampard for picking players like that. But in my mind, I think that Chelsea side's there to be beaten. They've got no Kante. It's all going to come down to the midfield battle. And you know what? Pogba, McTominay and Pereira. Of course, we could have added a Bruno Fernandes. Of course, we could have added a Thomas Partey. We didn't. The board, we didn't. We know who's to blame for that. But that midfield today is about as good as it's going to get. I think, maybe, I do like Fred. Maybe I would like to see Fred play. But I don't personally think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rates Fred. And Fred's not even on the bench. So I'm probably right with that. But what I would say is we have got a situation at Manchester United there where we've got no Matic. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's a manager I want to believe in. He's a manager I want to get behind. And I said this back in May. If he starts the first game of this season with people like Young in it, and then it's developed over the summer and Matic and Mata, then I don't see what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is all about, because he's just doing what Mourinho did and Van Gaal before him, picking experienced players. First game of the season at Old Trafford against Chelsea, who are going to be a big rival of ours if we want to get in the top four. No Matic, no Mata, no Ashley Young. That is a positive that you can take to the bank and get on. And I think we need to get behind the team for that, because we're not going to make any new signings and we go with what we've got. So I'm very, 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 very happy with that United lineup. It's as good as it can be. Yes, we needed to make signings, but we haven't. That's not going to happen now. So we go with what we've got. I'm very, very, very happy with it, and I hope you are as well. Andreas corner delivery straight to slab head goal, says Buster. I'm glad that you've said that. I mean, we'll talk about the team and how we're going to line up, etc. in a little bit. But what I want to say is that yes, Andreas Pereira is an absolute nailed on, brilliant selection by Ollie, because you've got to have somebody who can put a cross into the box. And I think Andreas Pereira to start against look, anyone who's been watching the United stand for any period of time knows that I've been talking about Andreas Pereira for 4 or 5 years, but I'm going to hold my hand up and say in February I said I don't think he's not going to make it. I just don't think he's going to make it. And I, somebody who was a massive fan of his, and the videos are all out there. I love Andreas Pereira. He scored a free kick against Liverpool in pre-season last year, and I celebrated like we'd won the World Cup. That's how much I like Andreas Pereira. But even I felt in February that he'd had his chance and it wasn't going to happen. But he's worked hard, he's got a new contract, and here he is starting in a game against Chelsea. And he could be, I'm not flip-flopping here. I'd sort of given up on him, I agree. But I think about why I backed him. He has got that potential to be that fantastic player for Manchester United. So I'm very, very pleased that he's playing. And I'm hoping that we can get a few corners. Because Harry Maguire is going to be absolutely massive for United. Absolutely, well and truly massive for Manchester United in every sense of the word. Anyway, love this team news. Love the channel. Glory, glory, Manchester United, says Patrick St. Pierre. Lots of positivity. If you can't start the season with positivity, what can you do? So it is really positive. Let's just show you a little transition there. So, link in the video description for the OneFootball app. You can see it going up on the screen for you there. You can download it and it will give you all your latest Manchester United news, team news, breaking news. Download it on your phone. It will go onto your desktop like that. And when you click into it, go to Manchester United, get all the breaking news, all the latest news. And when there is a game on, you can get all your stats in there, heat maps, how many touches, marks out of 10, everything like that, all that jazz. The link's in the video description for the OneFootball app. It is a new season, and if you're looking to get all your stats and everything in one place, link in the video description for OneFootball. Give it a download. It helps the channel out if we link up with quality apps like that, and it means that we can bring things to you like giveaways and everything like that. So please do smash that download. The link is in the video description for you. David De Gea is the captain. That is the case. OneFootball is the app. The link is in the video description. And what's the bench, lads, says Jon Snow. You know nothing, Jon Snow. You don't even know who's on the bench. On the bench, we've got Romero. We've got Ashley Young. We've got Twan Sebi. We've got Matic, we've got Mata, we've got Daniel James, and we've got Mason Greenwood. And to be honest with you, again, all right, Matic and Mata and Young, not very exciting. But there is 3 players on that bench that are exciting. Twan Sebi ahead of Jones and Smalling. Another positive, another bada bing, bada boom. Daniel James on the bench for that. That's where Daniel James should be as far as I'm concerned. That's the role he's going to have at Manchester United. And then you've got, what's his name? Mason Greenwood on the bench, which is why we sold Romelu Lukaku. So yeah, I would like Angel Gomez to be on the bench. I would like to have seen Fred on the bench, but not everybody's going to get on the bench. We know that's not going to be the case. Not everybody can get on the bench. So very, very happy with that Manchester United lineup, and very, very optimistic about what we will be able to achieve this season. But let's bring it back to the game, because it is an absolutely massive game for Manchester United today, and one that I feel that we've got to win it. I think I went in my match prediction, and get your score predictions in below. I did say in my match prediction that I think Manchester United would win 2-1, although your head would say it may well be a draw. I do feel that Manchester United will win it, and do need to win it, of course. So, but where the game will be won and lost is going to be that midfield, and I think we've given ourselves what I would say is a very, very big opportunity to go out there and get something with the way that we've set up our team today, because we've got players who ultimately are what we want to play. They're not necessarily there's no deadwood, is there? I don't want to be negative. I'm just updating something for you, which you're all going to get very excited about in a moment. But I don't want to be negative, because I don't think that's what this season's about. But actually, I've just while I'm updating the substitutions, I'm a little bit surprised that Diego Dalot is another player that you would have thought, oh, maybe he might get a look in, and he hasn't. So it just shows you that we have got a very, very, very big squad at Manchester United. And it's a big season. We've got Europa League football as well. And I know we didn't sign players in the summer, and that was somewhat disappointing. Having said that, there will be lots of other opportunities for players to get involved. So I'm excited about it. I hope that you lot are as well. And we can see something in a moment that I really want to show you. So just bear with me at the moment. It's still 1-0 to Arsenal. I think they probably are going to get over the line today, aren't they? Which is a little bit frustrating. Having said that, if we can get a win against Chelsea today, then we're in a very, very strong position as we move forward. Ashley Young's number 18, isn't he? Yes, he is, everybody. Don't worry, he is. Right, you're going to like this when I do it. You're going to love it when I get it going. A lot of this has to be done on the hop, you see. Starting Chelsea. Okay, so the Chelsea lineup will go through in a moment as well, but I just want to save that and then export. Starting Chelsea. Save. Yes. So let's have a look if we can transition to this and get it to work. Starting 11. Is it going to work? Wan-Bissaka, Pereira. You've got all your players on the bench there. Look at that. I've got it a little bit wrong. I'm not happy about that. We'll change that. But as you can see, you've got your lineup and you've got your subs there, which is Sergio Romero, Axel Tuanzebe, Ashley Young, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, Daniel James, and Mason Greenwood. And I've seen some Manchester United midfields that have really. Manchester United benches that have really, made me want to throw up, I suppose, in a bad way. This bench has got some real excitement on it, and I'm really excited to see how it just changed there while I was live. But look, really excited to see how this Manchester United side is going to evolve under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Kante is on the bench for Chelsea. A lot of people saying it's a diamond mark, so maybe Jesse Lingard. That's a good point. So maybe just Jesse Lingard. If we go to Jesse Lingard, maybe Jesse Lingard there will move over into the number 10 position. Tom says, hi Mark, I'm at the game, just wondering where I could find flex at the end. We should beat this Chelsea side quite easily. Come on United, says Tom. I tell you what, Tom, you're doing really well to get reception at Old Trafford if you're at the game. But if you do want to get on the fan cams, remember we will have fan cams after the game. So we'll have Manchester United fan cams against Chelsea, and we are just in front of Hotel Football. So as you cross the bridge to Hotel Football, Flex is normally stood there. Spartan and James, great first team, but the bench would be better with Fred, Dalot and Gomez, but it's still good. 2-1 United. Good luck to the young Lingard for his debut. Thanks for the contribution, Spartan. I mean, what I would say there about putting Angel Gomez on the bench and Dalot on the bench and Fred on the bench, I mean, if you look at the bench over here, just for me to highlight what we're looking at, the bench there, you've got obviously Ashley Young could be Diego Dalot, I agree, that's fine. And Juan Mata could be Angel Gomez, and Fred could be instead of Matic. So yeah, I would agree with that. But having said that, you've got Mason Greenwood, Daniel James and Axel Tuanzebe on there, and at least none of young Matic and Mata are starting. These were staples last season. So yeah, let's go through the team. David De Gea there is captain for Manchester United. There we go. Fave Dan is asking about that. So David De Gea is the captain for Manchester United. But there's two players that I want to highlight today. Obviously, Harry Maguire. You cannot underestimate. I mean, this is the first time we're going to see him in a Manchester United shirt. Give Draughty a pay rise, says Humza Raymond. Look, Draughty is a genius. He's going to be on at 4 o'clock, so you can give him some love there anyway. But he is a genius, and he's a massive part of this channel, and he knows it, and he knows his worth. Maguire is key today. That back four makes you want to eat chocolates. It's absolutely brilliant. But Maguire is key today, because what Maguire's going to do in this box and that box up there, you've got a player that, if you don't understand what Maguire's about, I spoke about this all of last season. It's about the ability to have somebody who is going to win the ball in the air, whether that be in the penalty box of our box or the penalty box of their box. And that is, Maguire is a weapon that we've not had at our club for a few years now. But it's no good if you haven't got good ball delivery. And that's where Andreas Pereira starting today really excites me. Because if Mata starts or Matic starts, you're like, who's going to take the corners? Andreas Pereira has got brilliant ball delivery if he has a good game. And that, to me, is the key to this game. Andreas Pereira on corners, trying to find Harry Maguire. And obviously Paul Pogba, massively important. I said last night, he's got our season in his hands. I'm glad he's fit. Let's have a look at his mentality. We've got to all get behind Pogba. I think that's really important. And Scott McTominay as well, that midfield three. This is where games are going to be won and lost today and throughout the season. So this is a great opportunity. And I really hope that these three players take advantage of it. I don't want to see Matic coming back into the team. So massive opportunity for them. And then as you move to the front three, and especially our new number 9, Anthony Martial, massive opportunity for him and Rashford and Lingard. They're senior pros of this team now. They're there to show their consistency, and they definitely need to do that. On Ikiri and Miki says that we have 3 Deadwoods and Greenwood. Okay. This is so much better to market. It is amazing. I see goals today, says Malusa. No Fred on the bench, says Bill the Derp fan. No Fred on the bench, you're right. And graphics great. Music off, please, says Keith Singer. Well, look, some people like the music, some people don't. It's there. We're not going to be going over to that often anyway. Please do smash a like on the video and make sure you subscribe if you're new. New season, new look on the watch along on the United stand. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's funny when I always say this to Draughty with the graphics. Every season when he puts the graphics forward, I'm like, I love it. And then I think I'm never going to want them to change. And then he showed me this stuff and I was like, I love it. I absolutely love it. It makes last year look crap. So look, Arsenal are about to win 1-0. I think that means we've got to win as well. Apparently MUTV has the lineup of 4-2-3-1, says Hazy Day Gibb. It might be 4-2-3-1. I'm not going to change that graphic there because I like the way it looks symmetry wise, but it may well be a 4-2-3-1. The reality is that is the team that we're picking. And let's not forget, MUTV told us last week that Nemanja Matic is a fantastic player and fundamental to our season. It just tells you that propaganda nonsense. They don't know what they're on about half the time. It's 0-0 between Wolves and Leicester. I didn't even know they were playing. And Daniel XL Smith says, Doherty is a genius. This is a masterpiece. He'll be loving all this. He'll be absolutely loving all this. It's an exciting lineup, says Dean Sidder. Loving the new layout, says Mark B. 3-1 United. And I'll tell you what I'm loving. I'm loving the positivity. Because I feel positive and you feel positive. And I get fed up with people saying, oh, you're always moaning. Do you think we want to moan? Do you think United fans want to moan? We moan when we need to moan. We don't moan for anything. You know, there's plenty you could moan about today if we wanted to. Oh, why are they not on the bench? Oh, he's done this again. That's not how we work. That's not how we roll as United fans. We want to be positive. We want things to be positive. And if we get something to be positive about, we will be positive about it. And look, yeah, we should have bought a midfielder and we probably should have bought another striker and we definitely should have bought a right winger, but we didn't. We built a back four. I don't trust the board. I don't think they back the manager, but we back the manager, and that team he's picked today demonstrates that he thinks the same as what we think. He understands that Nemanja Matic is too slow and moves the ball too slow. And in the way he wants to play on the front foot, you cannot play Matic. So I'm very, very, very happy with what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done today. And I back the manager like I always have done. There are doubts. Of course there's going to be doubts. I'm not going to deny that. Of course there's going to be doubts. But I think that you go with what you got. And Ollie has got one arm behind his back in the way the team, the club backed him in the summer. But that's over now. He can't buy anyone. He can't buy anyone. So we go with what we've got and we be positive. And look, if we get found out today and we lose our first 5 games of the season, then maybe he's not good enough. But that's not a reality at the moment. So let's go for it. So pleased that he's dropped Matic, and it is. Let's call a spade a spade. It is dropping of Matic as well. He has dropped Matic. Stellar graphics for the new season, says Sfi Milo. 2-0 to United. I tell you what, if we can get off to a good start and win today, we've got a very tough game against Wolves next season. If we can get off to a good start and win today, then you know what. Fantastic, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. So it's a 4-2-3-1, says K2 Oomi. K2, don't swear at me for one. Learn some bloody manners in your life. You don't swear at people about a formation, so that's one thing. And 2, I don't care if it's a 4-2-3-1. I've been doing this for 4 years. And actually, the amount of times you get told by MUTV or this, that and the other that the formation is this, and then the game starts and it's not that. I ain't going to change the formation just because you or MUTV or the BBC or anybody else says we're playing a certain formation. I'll wait till kick-off. I've had my fingers burnt on that before. And don't bloody swear at me. Get some bloody manners. What's your upbringing? Positive vibes only, says Buster Colin. Exactly. Get some bloody... People moaning about the bloody formation. I mean, you're exactly what the problem is with the club then, isn't it? These people who just want to be negative about everything. Go and have a glass of lemonade. Make yourself feel happy. Ari Guadalia says, is it true the comment that Pogba said he is committed? Love the team lineup, but I would have put Greenwood instead of Lingard, but not Matic. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made some very interesting comments last night about, it's unfair to throw young players into the team, and he has got experienced players, and I think some people got a little bit worried about that. To me, the team he's picked today is the right team. It's looking forward, and I would like to have seen Greenwood start, but it's not the end of the world because he's on the bench. Daniel James is on the bench. Twan Sebi, I think low key, that Twan Sebi selection on the bench is massive. Because where's Phil Jones? Where's Marcus Rojo? Where's Chris Smalling? They're all fit. They're not on the bench. Twan Sebi is. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has sent the right messages to this football club today and to us as the fans. He said it in the press conference on Friday. The only way to get the positivity back is for them to deliver on the pitch. Well, he's delivered in the team news straight away. Now let's go and deliver on the pitch. Excited to see Greenwood backing him to score, says Jason Cleverley. And let's not forget as well, on that point as well, we've got a new member to the club. Welcome, Tom Ball. Remember, if you want to become a member of the United Stand Members Club, the join button is below. You get access to all our emojis, of which we need to add a few more actually. Do you ever go to a game, says MUFC Tom? Yes, I do. I mean, it's a boring question as well. Look, I used to go to United a lot of games, and then we started the United Stand, and then we started doing watch-alongs, and what people don't understand is you can't be in 2 places at once, and it'd be very easy for me to go to football matches, but then there wouldn't be a watch-along. So, what do you want? Should we just stop doing watch-alongs and I'll go to every game? We can do that. Or I'll go to 3 or 4 games a season and we'll do loads of watch-alongs, and then I'll just get someone to cover it when I'm not there. That's what we do on this channel. So, but I get bored of that. Oh, you're a Forest fan. Oh, you're not a real fan. Oh, you're a bitter bastard, are you? Jordan Such says, don't you think that that's the problem as to why United don't spend as much money? They know the fans are going to go. We have to go with what we've got. I think I actually make a very good point, Jordan. You do make a good point because, actually maybe we shouldn't be going, let's go with what we've got. Maybe people shouldn't be turning up at the game. Maybe people should be, sending their shirts back for a refund. But that's all a personal choice. I was asked that question at our United Stand get-together on Thursday night. What would you do to bring about change in our ownership? And it's gone off like a bottle of pop with Gary Neville this morning. Basically, having arguments with people who are Glazers out. Not because he's not Glazers out, but because all the protests and everything he doesn't think make any difference. He said it's like fighting an elephant with a fly. It's not going to make any difference, which I sort of agree with in many ways. It's like, when we have a bad transfer window like that, where our net spend is £66 million, it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. But my mentality is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault? No. Is it the players' fault? No. And we're Manchester United Football Club, and I just watch Arsenal win and all their fans giving it this, and I think, you know what? I want us to go and win. I want us to be successful, and I want to have a siege mentality. It makes it very hard when we don't get the backing that the owners should be giving, and there has to be a solution. There has to be a solution, but I can't help myself from backing the team and saying we go with what we've got, because it just kicks in automatically. And I think if you tried to stop fans who are Glazers out going to Old Trafford, I don't think they'd stop, because it kicks in. No, I've got to go to Old Trafford. It's my thing. I've been doing it for years. It's very, very difficult. And that's why the Glazers have been here for so long. Opinion on what Paul Merson was saying about Mcguire, says Buston. I decided long ago to not listen to what Paul Merson's got to say. Love Hate Games. Mark, welcome back for the first game of the season. Would you bring back Depay? We can't, because the transfer window is closed. And Lobo says that Matic is finished. He'll get passed by everybody. Look, I'm just so glad that Nemanja Matic is not in the team. He's not in the team. Can't stand Arsenal, says Leo Leon. No, I can't. And if anybody didn't follow me on Twitter, you're a fool, at Mark Goldbridge. But I have got a £500 bet with Robbie off AFTV that United will finish above them. So it's a charity bet. It's a charity bet. He can more than... To be honest, 500 quid to Robbie. He said, can't we do 5 million? I said, mate, I'm not loaded like you. But 500 quid to Robbie is like loose change. But to me and you, it's a lot of money. So we've got the charity bet element there. And you know what? Arsenal are favourites to finish above us. They finished above us last season. They've had a better transfer window. So, they can gob off all they like, but they should be finishing above us. They should be finishing above us. But I think we'll finish above them. Charlie Bass says, average age of 23.7. Thanks for all the content over the transfer window. I'll tell you what, I'm glad the transfer window's over as well, Charlie. I'm really, really glad. So let's just go to the starting 11 thing for you. As you can see there, I've circled Anthony Martial there, but there's your bench. Sergio Romero, Axel Twansibi, Ashley Young, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, Daniel James and Mason Greenwood. And your team, De Gea, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, McTominay, Pereira, Pogba. What a midfield that is. No Matic. And Lingard, Rashford and Martial. And to be honest with you, I want to give Jesse Lingard a second chance this year. Whether he'll live up to that second chance, it's another thing. But I do want to give him another chance this season. And Dazu W says, do you think Gary Neville sticks up for the Glazers? He said, United couldn't get targets. No mention of lack of midfielders. Well, I don't know. I don't think Gary Neville is pro the Glazers, because when we tried to sack Mourinho last October, he went mad, didn't he? An absolute rant saying that the problems with Manchester United are so go so much higher than Jose Mourinho, and I think he's right about that. But I just want to draw your attention to the let me use the circle here, although it doesn't really cover it. I just want to draw your attention to the bench for a moment, because that bench there really does highlight, I'm very happy with the starting lineup, but it really does highlight that we have got good options on the bench. I mean, look, Twansebi is there instead of Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. Mata, Young and Matic, Deadwood, don't really interested in them, but Daniel James and Mason Greenwood as well. So half of that bench for a change is actually really, really quite exciting. And look, I hope Luke Shaw has a good game as well. I like Luke Shaw. Right. Try and get the Draughty Devil on. Please do smash a like on the video, everybody. And also, as I said, we are sponsored by the One Football app today. The link is in the video description. If you're looking for an app during the game that you can check out stats, heat maps, shots on goal, all that jazz, breaking news, give it a download. It really helps the channel out as well, because obviously the more sponsors like that we get, the more things we can do. It helps us go on tour. It was very expensive, over £10,000 to go on tour last summer. So these sort of things help us, and it's a good app. So please do download it. The link's in the video description. Get all your breaking news for Manchester United there. Get all your information on what's going on with the game as it goes on. In fact, I can show you a little thing. Allows me just to stretch my legs. So there's the little phone app for you, the One Football app. Click on the link on the video description, download the app, and then you can go into it and have a look at all the sort of breaking news you get with Manchester United. It will show you there. So the app will be on your phone. In you go, Manchester United, all your breaking news. When there's a match on, it'll have all stats, all about how many people have had a shot on goal and everything like that. Really, really, really good. The link in the video description for that. Let's move back to the watch along. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving all this new setup, and it would be nice actually to get Draughty on, if we can get him on. Let's have a look. Score predictions. A lot of people saying United are going to win, and it just shows you look, Chelsea are in the Champions League this season. Chelsea have got a manager who used to play for their club and he's very young. Chelsea have got some young players. They're playing Mason Mount today. The team for Chelsea, if you can't remember it, is Kepa, and it's also got Aspilicueta, Christensen, Zuma, Emerson, Kovacic, Jorginho, Mason Mount, Barkley, Tammy Abrahams and Pedro. It's there to be beat. But, there is symmetry between Manchester United and Chelsea, I believe. Drawty, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Let's just see if this sound actually works, though.
Yeah, let's just see if this sound does work. We were trying some stuff out. But look, first of all, a lot of people saying 3-1 to United. I want to get your thoughts on that. But also, I just want to give you a moment, your moment in the sun. Mr. Silas says the new setup is quality. And Dazu W says this starting lineup makes me feel good about the season. And David Mills, love the swanky graphics. Hope the boys live up to it. So lots and lots of love for your graphics. Apparently, it's very easy to do.
Who said that?
I'm just taking the piss. I know how much work it takes, and I think you've done a fantastic job. New season, it looks very good.
Oh, cheers, man. We were having a bit of a headache about an hour before air, but we managed to sort it out. So I'm happy. So
what goes on tour stays on tour, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's fine. So hopefully the sound is okay. I can't see any problems, so I think we're good to go. But
thoughts on the team then? Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, I wouldn't change a single player, honestly, because I look at that and I go, Matic from McTominay, perfect. The back four is exactly what we wanted. Pereira, I'm happy. He's getting a game. Pogba, you need Pogba. Martial and Rashford, yes. The only one I would have had a slight query over was potentially Lingard, but even then, I don't really want to chuck in Greenwood for the first game of the season. So, to be honest with you, I don't think that lineup could be any better with the squad than we got.
No, I think a lot of people were saying start Greenwood, and I would like to have seen Mason Greenwood starting, but I think Lingard, with the absence of signing a right winger and the absence of a signing midfielder, I think Jesse Lingard is going to be a very important player for Manchester United this season. So you've almost got to chuck him in at the deep end straight away. I mean, there's no point Jesse Lingard, let's play him against bloody some bag of crap at home. Put him in against Chelsea. If he's as disappointing as last season, he's had his chance, and then you move forward. But I think it's important for people like Daniel James and Mason Greenwood to work their way into the team anyway. I think throwing them in straight away, we don't necessarily need to do that. So yeah, I'm very happy with that team. And of course, we've got that strong back five now. But I've got to say, even though I really was desperate for it to happen, I'm so pleased with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer picking that midfield and not picking Matic. I think it leaves us with such a weakness out of the team, really.
The thing is, I look at this lineup and it's almost perfect. It's I think what everyone would have wanted, basically at the start of the season, because obviously we've only signed. I know Daniel James isn't starting, but you don't expect him to with Anthony Martial on the left. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Mcguire are fantastic defensive signings. So the defence is as strong as it can be, which is brilliant. So obviously Ollie knows who his starting back four is. McTominay, I'm hoping he's going to have a really big season. Genuinely think the lad could have a big season. And I'm so happy he's ahead of Matic, because that sends a good message throughout the rest of the squad as well. It means that the defensive midfield point is more mobile, which is exactly what we need. Pogba's probably going to feel a bit better about it as well, because he hasn't got a slow player behind him. Pereira is a very interesting choice. Everyone would have said, it would have been so easy to play Mata, or... To be honest with you, we haven't really got that many options in midfield, hence why we needed a midfielder. Fred could have played there, I suppose, but Pereira, he's one of the players that everyone wanted to see, and he is an exciting talent, so maybe this is his chance.
Yeah.
And if you look at the front three, as much as Lingard, I said, it would have been nice to have Greenwood. I think, to be honest with you, Lingard is the smart choice for this game of the season, especially because Chelsea are going under transition now. They've lost Eden Hazard. They got Pulisic coming in. Tammy Abraham up front. Obviously, I know him from Bristol City, having watched him a few times at Ashton Gate. He's a good player. Don't underestimate him. But at the end of the day, I think that is literally the perfect 11 for the starting game of the season. I can't fault it, genuinely.
No, I'm just talking about Chelsea for a moment. I've got to say, and it could come back and bite me, but I said this a lot on the tour with United. I feel that, look, maybe in the midfield we are a little bit weak, and maybe in the front we're a little bit inconsistent, but that can only change if you work on it, and that consistency will hopefully come. But what I feel with United, and we saw it on the tour a lot as well, is that I think defensively we're so strong now. Like, teams used to attack us down the Ashley Young side because they knew he was crap. Wan-Bissaka is one of the best right backs in Europe defensively. I think I like Luke Shaw and Lindelof, and I think Harry Maguire, if he settles in, is a very, very, very good centre back. De Gea had a bad season last year. I can't see that happening again. So defensively, I think we're going to be very, very strong. And I look at teams like Chelsea today, and I don't think that Chelsea front line, and I don't know why Pulisic isn't playing, but I don't think that Chelsea front line's that good. So straight away, I'm thinking, I can't see Chelsea scoring more than one goal today. So at Old Trafford, we should be winning it.
Yeah, I don't see anything other than a win today. Maguire, I'm extremely excited to see Maguire in a United shirt with Lindelof, because I just think, the attacking battles that we've had with Chelsea recently, I think those two should nullify them pretty well. And Wan-Bissaka, he is the steal of the summer for me. Everyone says, 50 million is a lot for a right back. But if he lives up to his potential, that is a steal. So, to be honest with you, I think first game of the season, you want to come out of the blocks fast. We saw City win 5-0 yesterday. Liverpool won 4-1. Really, if Man United are going to challenge for top 4 this season, because realistically, I don't think any of us are thinking title at the moment.
Not a chance.
I'd be happy with a 2-0. Don't know about you.
Yeah, and there's some good comments coming there. Mr. Singer just said that Daniel James around 65 minutes. And you cannot underestimate that bench, because, look, Matic and Mata might be on the bench, but I think even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows, what do Matic and Mata offer me in a game of football against Chelsea at home? They're there, but at what point do you bring Matic on against Chelsea? If you're 4-0 up, why? If you're losing 3-0, why?
I don't think you do.
So I think that the players there on the bench that are the relevant players are going to be great, Greenwood and James. And this is the brilliance of selling Lukaku, really. And it's going to be interesting when Alexis Sanchez is fit, because he's not on the bench today because he's not match fit. So Daniel James and Mason Greenwood, they're going to get used. They will get used. If Lingard has a bad game, if Rashford or Martial gets injured or tired or whatever, they will get game time. And Sean Atwood says, look, I've woke up like a kid on Christmas, let's go. And I think that's just it. I was talking about that before you came on live. That is just it. A lot of people think, United fans are negative. Far from it. United fans are at their best when they're positive, and we want to be positive. And I think today there's nothing to be negative about at the moment. The team selection, and we've been doing this for a number of years, you very rarely get a day like today where you go, you know what, as you just said, I wouldn't do anything different. Maybe one player, but at a push, Greenwood for Lingard, but actually I'm quite happy to give Lingard a chance. So lots to be positive about.
Yeah, personally, right now at this first juncture of the season, I wouldn't change anyone. I think if you're going later into the game and you need legs, then you'll see what is Ollie's plan. Is he going to bring on the youth, or is he going to go back for experience? What you don't want to see is, say, McTominay coming off for Matic, or Pereira being swapped for Mata. What would be nice is maybe if Lingard was swapped potentially for Chong or Greenwood. You don't really want to swap out Martial or Rashford, so maybe you could look at Pereira being swapped for Angel Gomez if there was a slight change in formation. Because this is the season for those guys to come in. And don't forget James Garner as well. He can easily interchange with McTominay. So I'm hoping maybe Matic is going to be retired this season, but maybe I'm being a bit too hopeful.
Definitely. Delighted to join United Stand. Followed your transfer coverage. Epic. Big thank you to yourself and the team. Appreciate it. It's a lot of work. 3-0 United to Istanbul. And that's the amazing thing about the channel, is that we've got people who will have joined us over the summer who are now seeing what happens during the season. The transfer window is hectic. We enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at the end, but that's gone now, and now we move into another. I always think with the United Stand and with football in general, there's two distinct areas. There's the football season and there's the transfer window, and they're very, very different. But we do both. So please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and smash a like on the video. Let's see. We've already hit 2,000 likes before kick-off, so thanks for that.
Wow.
What's your feeling? I mean, Aidan Lefevre says, buzzing for today, Mark. Love the lineup minus Matic and Mata on the bench. Rather have Angel and Fred, but let's get these 3 points. Come on, United. A lot of people feeling confident. We've got to. I don't want to do this. This is not me being negative. This is me being. This is the United standard. We must always look at both sides. So it's almost on a bit of paper here. Pragmatic. I've got to say, look, we ended the season terribly with a lot of these players. And we had a good first 3 months under Ollie, and then we had a bad 3 months. Can we come into this season and get back to those first 3 months? Because there is a danger, isn't there? As positive as we all want to be, it might not go that way. So how do you feel about the game today?
Chelsea are not going to roll over. Obviously, they got a new manager under Frank Lampard, and we all know what happens with new managers. You normally get the new manager syndrome, where everyone in the squad goes up that extra 5% and plays for the new manager to try and nail down their place in the squad. So do not expect Chelsea to roll over today. but they're not the Chelsea they were. Losing Eden Hazard to Real Madrid obviously hurts them. Like you said, Pulisic isn't playing. Tammy Abraham, I love him as a player.
I don't think he's a Premier League striker, to be honest with you.
No,
I saw him at Villa. He's a Championship striker.
Yeah, he is a Championship striker. He's brilliant in the Championship. I'm not too sure he's up to this level. But then again, everyone said that about Harry Kane when he first broke into Spurs. So you just never know. Some players can really rise to the occasion. I kind of feel like it'd probably be a little bit tentative in the first half because obviously Man United don't want to lose, neither do Chelsea. Obviously, it's a new back four as well, so they'll just be getting used to each other. And that always takes a bit of bedding in time. It's not like Maguire's had a pre-season with the team either, which we need to bear in mind. But then again, Harry Maguire is also a threat from set pieces, so it might be interesting when corners come in. So, I don't know. I just feel like if we're going to win, it's probably going to be a 1 or 2-0. But then again, potentially a 1-1. I don't think that would be the end of the world. I just think today we just need to be tight at the back and be a little bit expansive.
I'll tell you what, I think a draw wouldn't be a bad result in many of people's eyes because of where we finished last season and the transfer window's not gotten the way it is and it's a new team, blah-de-blah-de-blah. But actually, I think if we want to rebuild and we want to be something, there's enough quality in that United side. It is Old Trafford. I think we need to go and win it. And I think Andrew will go through the team in a moment, but I think that I actually haven't got a problem with Chelsea. I never really liked Frank Lampard as a player. The minute he became a pundit, I really warmed to him. I think he's a very intelligent guy, and I think he did a great job at Derby. We saw that last October when they came the bloody pink boots, didn't they? They knocked us out on penalties, but they played us off the park. They were brilliant. And also, if you spin it the other way, and it's not, you don't really want to spin it the other way because you're a United fan. But as people were watching me do Spurs versus Villa on That's Football, I like to watch a lot of other football. I'm a massive Man United fan, but like many of you lot, it doesn't end at United. I do watch a lot of other football, and I can look at things pragmatically and say that look, Chelsea. I think it's dangerous what Lampard's done because Chelsea just swing the axe for no reason at all. Mourinho won the title and he was gone within 3 months. So, a few bad results, you're gone at that club. So I respect Lampard for doing it. I think that urge to do it was there, just like it was with Ollie. A brave decision by Ollie to come and do it as well. And also, he's got a transfer ban. He's lost Eden Hazard. For different reasons, he's in a similar situation to Solskjaer, who, again, as we know, only had £66 million net spent. But he's picking Tammy Abraham up front, who was playing for Villa in the Championship. He's playing Mason Mount in the midfield, who was playing for Derby last season. So, look, this is not the Chelsea we're used to, where it's some smug foreign manager with hundreds of millions being spent. It's a transfer ban. He's a young manager, and Chelsea have had a fantastic youth setup for years, but never use it. And here we are, Chelsea coming to Old Trafford, opening game of the season, and he's playing a couple of the youngsters as well. So, in many ways, I just think fair play, and I think it just adds that extra to the game. It really does. So yeah, I'm excited.
So am I. I mean, I'm going to read this comment. Alariza says, "Love the graphics. Can you add a C for who's wearing the armband? I can do that in the future if people want me to, so I can sort that out." Basically, these are almost like pilot shows, aren't we? Because we're trying to get ready for the new season. We'll get it all sorted for you. But in terms of this game, yes, I'm excited. I don't think I'm coming in here thinking, we had a bad end to the season, it's going to be bad start. I think it's a fresh start for everyone. And to be honest with you, I'd give it a couple of weeks before we see where we're really at.
Yeah, definitely. And why Daniel James not starting? What's your thoughts, Mark? Says Ryan Cave. And stand up, Mark, so Toot can see your bulge. Says 00101. If I stand up in this studio because it's a pilot, it would take half my head off. So we figured that one out just before we went live. So when I stand up, I have to cut to the other screen, which I'm going to cut to in a moment. But just on the Ryan Cave comment, Daniel James starting, Drawty. I love the signing of Daniel James. And Sean Atwood says no draw. We're winning 3-1. Rashford, Martial, and Pogba to score. We'll talk about Pogba in a moment as well. But I actually don't really have a problem with Daniel James being on the bench because I think we paid £15 million for a player from Swansea who ultimately might flop, or he might be an amazing signing. And I think because we want him to be the amazing signing, you've got to have a little bit of patience with it.
Yeah, I kind of think with Daniel James, when you've just come from the Championship and you've not actually played at the highest level, I know he had a really good game against Man City. He is a sort of he's one of those signings that it doesn't matter whether it works either way. £18 million in this market is relatively cheap. So if it goes really well, he's an absolute bargain. If it goes badly, well, it was worth the punt. So at the end of the day, we just need to nurture him in the best way possible. He's under the best manager for bringing youth through. So I think Daniel James at the moment, he's not going to be a first teamer. I think he's one for the squad at the moment, but he could potentially become a first teamer if he shows the kind of displays that he did against Man City. The only thing is, obviously he's left wing. Martial sometimes plays off the left. Is Martial playing through the middle today? Do we know?
Well, I'm just looking at this on the OneFootball app, which you can download the link in the video description. They've got it as a 4-2-3-1 with McTominay and Pogba, the two sitting, which is what we've seen in pre-season. Pereira to the right, Lingard central, and which I think is Lingard's best position, to be fair. Martial to the left and Rashford up front. However, we have seen in the pre-season a lot of interchangeability as well. I don't know whether you can see it on the screen there, but they have got the 4-2-3-1 on the OneFootball app, and I believe on MUTV as well. Chris Chase says, hey Mark, I back Ollie, but in case he's sacked with his shambolic board, do you think any top-level manager will want to join us and take on the challenge? Thanks for your hard work. Keep up the pal. I think if United hadn't got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they would have gone for a Pochettino or a Zidane, and those managers would have said, I want 200 million. So I said that in the summer. Look, I wanted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I still do. The downside of it was that, they've sort of treated him like a kid, haven't they? And said, you're not having this, you're not having that, you're only having 66 million. And I think they would have had to go after Mourinho for a very expensive manager, and that manager would have only come if they'd said 200 million's there. So, but I'm happy with the scenario we've got. Alexi Nicola says, hi Mark and the team, thanks for an amazing show. In my eyes, we mostly need a Keane, Scholes and a Beckham who could fill those boots from the club. I don't know, I was very impressed with McGinn for Villa last night. I think if he can just adapt and get used to playing 90 minutes in the Premier League, he'd be good. But I keep saying it, we go with what we got. My score prediction is 3-1 today.
I'm going to go with 2-0. I think this is going to be, one of the best defences, hopefully, in the Premier League this season. I say that, you never know, could end up being 4-0 to Chelsea. I'm joking. But to be honest with you, I'm expecting a tight game, like I said earlier. And I just think, like I said before, and we both said, I don't think I'd change anything in the lineup. So to be honest with you, I am optimistic for this game. I am looking forward to it.
Anonymous Gamer says it's a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 with Pereira or right winger. Well, look, let me just go to the starting 11 screen here, as you can see as we transition. So I've got Luke Shaw highlighted there. But I think actually Lingard and Pereira, if we've lined it up in a 4-3-3 there, Drawty, and people can take a look at the subs bench as well as they want. It probably will be a 4-2-3-1 with McTominay dropping to this position and Pogba dropping back there. Lingard would drop into here and Pereira would push wide. But to be honest with you, I've got to be honest, I actually would prefer it if it was the way you've lined it up. Not because not because it stops me having to change it. But I like Pereira. I liked the 4-3-3 of last season. I liked the fact of, I liked Pogba, Matic and Herrera. And I think that could be replicated quite well with Pogba, McTominay and Pereira. And I liked the front three of Lingard, Rashford and Martial when it interchanged. So I think we will go with 4-2-3-1. But I like the 4-3-3 because I think Pereira on the right wing we lose a little bit. But I don't know what you think.
I think the 4-3-3 is kind of one of those, the last decade's flavour of the month. Obviously, back in the late 90s, it was always 4-4-2. Obviously, we had York and Cole up front, and there was interchangeable with Sheringham. I think now, like you said, the 4-2-3-1 would be a good formation, which is what they're playing today. I do like the 4-3-3, but I think at the moment, with the squad we've got, we have to make do with the kind of players, and our midfield is not strong. You take Pogba out of that midfield, then we've got an issue. So we haven't got that many options in the midfield area. So you're kind of stuck to what Ollie's going to play with at the moment. So I can see why he's going that way with it. But to be honest with you, whether it's a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, I think either work with the players we have, but it's just the midfield's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, 8 minutes to go, says Lee Alexander. I tell you what, I've never known, we always go live an hour before kickoff, and I've got to be honest, I've never known it go so quick to a game. And I'm just buzzing because obviously it's such an exciting game anyway, and you want it to go quick. And I can't believe how quick it's gone from team news coming out to now. And you always think, well, if it's a bad team, you're moaning so it goes quick. But actually, I think the positivity has really allowed it to go quick. And we are, 8 minutes away from kickoff. And I'm massively excited. And I've got to be honest, I'll be disappointed if we don't win this game.
Yeah, I think I'd be disappointed, but at the end of the day, I'll probably take a draw if it came. So I don't think a draw would be the end of the end of the world. We've had bad starts to the season before where we've lost games, not very often, but we've recovered from them. So to be honest with you, I think it's just going to be a good workout for the team. The back four are going to get used to each other. Pogba, at last, I'm hoping he's going to be able to show the quality that we all know he's got. Just on Pogba very quickly.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, we haven't spoken about Paul Pogba
Yeah.
at all, have we? And I spoke about him last night, and I said, look, I know that people swore about him after the game against Cardiff. I know a lot of people want rid of him. But I said last night, he's got our season in his hands. Like, if he doesn't want to be here and doesn't perform or gets injured or, whatever the scenario is, whether we like it or not, he is basically the difference between us being mid-table or maybe getting fourth. And people can dislike Pogba or like him, but that's the situation the club created by not investing in the midfield and not letting him leave. So he's got everything. He's massively important.
I think we're one injury away from Pogba from a potential problem. You take Pogba out of that team, where's the mobility? Obviously, we've got McTominay, Andres Pereira is hopefully going to have a good game today. But if you take Pogba out, you're back to Fred and Mata, Angel Gomez, who's just not experienced enough to run the midfield anyway. So it is a missed opportunity. I don't think he's going to go. I really bloody hope he doesn't go before the end of the European transfer window, because then we really have got a problem. And also, like you said, if he does go, we're going to be in positive profit for the summer, which then becomes completely unacceptable. So
Metal Music Reviews says, I'm so glad Ollie is going with a mobile midfield. Glory, glory, Manchester United. And I think that is echoed by everybody. I'm massively happy. And to be honest, I'm not surprised, because I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in tune with, not saying he's in tune with the fans. I just think he sees what fans see, that Matic is too slow for the style of football we want to play at this club. And I'm so pleased that he's done that. I'm not, I still think the jury's out on McTominay and Pereira, both of them, massively out. But I think the only way you find out whether they're good enough is actually by playing them. So I'm very, very pleased to see that. And yeah, we'll bring it on. Let's have a look at some of the chats. Sorry, more people watching, probably due to the porn music, says Billy. I don't hear the music, so there you go. Lee Carson, these last 15 minutes has dragged bad, but says Cal B. Well, you're very there. The nerves and excitement are increasing by the second, says Sean Fitzgerald. Fergie looks so adorable, says Yusuf Mahood. What a great team, says Will Henson. Alisson is injured. Liverpool season is over, says Iron Soldier. Look, Liverpool and Man City are irrelevant to us until we put ourselves back into a position of being relevant ourselves. It's about Arsenal, Chelsea, and maybe Spurs for us, but I think today is absolutely massive. Lingard is playing CAM and Pereira is a right winger, says Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's officially Ollie in the live comments. And after Matic's mistake against Milan, I think Ollie changed his mind on Matic, says Faisal. And does it mean when Pogba is injured we have no chance of winning, says Ellenbert Pazivo? No, I just think, draw. I think it really just comes down to, if Pogba does get injured, it's going to make it hard for us, isn't it? Because the quality of team that we're going to be playing is probably going to have a better midfielder than us.
The only thing I would say is, remember the PSG game in Paris when Pogba wasn't playing? We still managed to get that 3-1 win. So I don't think it maybe would be the end of the world, but I think over a long period it would be a struggle to get a good run of results. I think on a one-off game, you could probably go out without Pogba now and again, especially against some of the lower ranked teams. But in those big match games, you need a big game player, and Pogba is that big game player. So to be honest with you, today he's very much needed against Chelsea. Let's just hope he's not bloody sold.
No, well, the players are coming out now. Very exciting to see. And we have... how many minutes till kick off? 3 minutes till kick off. Ollie's at the wheel. You're going to join me at half time, aren't you, in for the last 10 minutes of the game?
Yes, I will do.
Superb. So fasten your seatbelts. Thanks for popping on, mate. And of course, big massive applause to Drawty for his sensational graphics at the start of the season. Really, really fantastic. And I know he will be adding a captain's armband for the captain, because that's just the way he rolls.
Yep, I will do. Nice to see Harry Maguire walking out as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him. I've also dropped you a WhatsApp.
Yep, no, I've read it, so I'll get on that.
All right, mate. I'll pop back in at half time then.
Cool beans. Speak to you later.
In a bit. See you on the other side. Right, it's just me and you lot then, as we approach the kickoff of the game. Lampard is walking out. That's your team news. That's your score. That's me. That's One Football. Download the app. I've actually just downloaded the app, and it took me about 10 seconds to do it, and I was just going through some of the stuff, so I will be updating you as well, but you can get it yourself. Link in the video description. One Football. Very, very good app. All your breaking Manchester United news, and it comes into its own when the game is running as well, so we'll be licking into that. But please do download it. Link in the video description. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Let's see if we can get to 531,000 subscribers today. And we are, why are the Glazers wanted out so much, says Oliver Green. It's got to be a troll comment, mate. We're loaded and they don't spend any money. That's basically it. There will be a clock. Don't worry, happy days. Do you think we're going to have all these fantastic graphics for you and then not have a clock? Come on. Who do you think we are? Of course we've got a bloody timer for you. We don't scrimp and save. Skengface says, what's happening between Drawty and Mad Marcus? I haven't got a clue, mates. I genuinely haven't got a clue. I don't get involved in those sort of things. We did at the very start for the first year. It's been 3 or 4 years now since all that crap. I can't be bothered about it. Life's too short. If you don't like people, just disengage. Why have Twitter beefs or whatever it is? It's childish. It's silly. And I don't want anything to do with it. And I like both, so I'm not getting involved. We are about to kick off. Very exciting. Come on, Manchester United. De Gea is the captain. Isaac Newton, yep. De Gea is the captain. Gomez is not on the bench, Kyle Moss. But you can't have everything. If you want to see the bench, I can just show you that for you now very quickly. Romero, Twattensebi, Ashley Young, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, Daniel James, Mason Greenwood. To me, I think the big positive is Axel Twattensebi's on the bench, because that could have been the Chuckle Brothers or Rojo. So that's a good intent by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Mason Greenwood and Daniel James are the attacking options. No Lukaku, no Alexis Sanchez. So I'm very, very pleased with it. Very, very pleased indeed, and happy with that. So yeah, let's do it. Oh, okay. And Drawty's just said there, I don't know what the beef's about. I don't even get it. So there you go. If for anybody who's interested in that, which really you shouldn't be. So look, there he is, Harry Maguire. He is the man. He is the man I love. I'm not that way inclined, but I just love Harry Maguire. He's not Nemanja Matic, but he's the closest thing we've had to Matic since he left. And and we weren't even doing the United stand when Matic played for United. So you're going to see something from me that you've never seen before. I absolutely love a granite centre-back who just goes and wins everything in the air. It gets me, I nearly said it gets me hard. It doesn't quite get me hard, but it gets me excited. And we're off. The Manchester United season is up and running. Well, there you go. There's your timer above the score. Come on, United. Let's have some of this. I'm excited. Are you excited? Let's go. Let's go, boys, says Man like Drew. The timer's up and running. If you can't see it, then you're blind. Get down, Specsavers. But it's Tammy Abrahams on the ball here, and United should win that back quite early. Martial's playing through the middle. Rashford's playing on the left at the moment. They'll swap each. They'll swap a lot. But yeah, it looks like it is the 4-2-3-1 that many people thought it would be. With McTominay and Pogba sitting ahead of Lingard, Pereira, and then Martial and Rashford to the left. In fact, it looks like Pogba's playing to the right-hand side of the midfield with McTominay to the left-hand side. I wonder if Pereira's quite central there as well. So I think you're going to see Pereira and Lingard swapping around a lot, because Pereira's playing quite like the number 10 at the moment, and Lingard's doing the work on the right-hand side. Love the new stuff. Best channel ever, says Dave MUFC Whitehead. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks very much for your support. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. I'm buzzing here. And here is trying to take on Wan-Bissaka, Emerson. Are you having a laugh? Are you brain dead or something? Like, he just tried to take on Wan-Bissaka. Let's all laugh at that Everton Chelsea Emerson lad. But Chelsea pinging the ball about a bit at the moment. Long ball, forget about it. De Gea's got hold of it. And there is an optimism around Manchester United at the moment. Mark, you said Matic instead of Vidic, says Vicent. Sorry, I don't mean Matic at all. I mean Vidic. I've got Matic on the brain. He's been giving me nightmares. I've not been sleeping. Wan-Bissaka, yeah, don't try and take Wan-Bissaka on. Just if I was a left winger and every time I got it, I'd just pass it back centrally. I'd say, what? What am I supposed to do? I'm a mere mortal taking on Titanium Man. Nothing gets past him. But Chelsea having a lot of the ball at the moment, which is the way Lampard wants to play. I've got to say this. Derby County came to Old Trafford last year, knocked us out on penalties on the Carabao Cup, but passed us off the park. And it is the way that Lampard wants to play. And if Chelsea fans are patient with what Lampard's trying to do, I think it could work quite well. But Luke Shaw there intercepting, and a silly little flick by Rashford. He's got to stop the little flicks and just do the simple things. Good tackle back by Luke Shaw though. And he's given a foul. He's given a foul. Who is the ref today? Bloody Pratt. Captain is David De Gea. David De Gea. So Chelsea started off this first couple of minutes with a lot of the ball. United trying to play on the front foot and press. I don't mind if Chelsea got the ball. I really don't. But tell you what, there's some really good play by Chelsea there. They've just carved United out open with some really good play between Mount and Abrahams. And the cross comes in and Harry Maguire puts it out for a corner. But I tell you what, Chelsea started impressively moving the ball about. I've got to put my hands up and say they have started off very, very well. That Mason Mount, just keep your eyes on him. If he can go, we saw McGinn for Villa yesterday and Jack Grealish. But Mount's another player from the Championship last year for Derby, come back from his loan to Chelsea. Another good player, another good young player. Is Mason Mount English? I think he's English. Is he English? If he isn't, doesn't matter. He's a good player though. Corner comes in, United get up and win it, and United could do with getting hold of the ball a little bit here. Oh, bloody hell. Tammy Abrahams just smashed the post. United have not started off that well. Lovely shot from Abrahams. United just a little bit sloppy. Need to get hold of this game a little bit at the moment. Pedro shoots, and, well, I tell you what, that United have started off a bit sloppy in this game. For all the optimism, we have started off sloppy, and it's a shot. Abraham hits the post, and he had De Gea well beaten. It's a lovely shot. No keeper saying that. And I was saying Abraham's a championship striker. I tell you what, that would have been that would have been one of the finishes of the season already. And Lampard's not happy. Chelsea have started off well. So true. I had to say it twice. But United just need to get on the ball a little bit here. Hopefully that can be a wake-up call. Can't get hold of the ball at the moment. Chelsea just dominating the ball. Absolutely passing us off the park. Ross Barkley now. Pogba wins it back. Come on, United. Just get hold of the ball a little bit. Oh. See, that's Pogba again, just holding on to it in a silly position. Just start keeping hold of the ball. That's better. Well done, Wan-Bissaka. Now Pereira, they've got some space to the left and he uses it. It's a nice ball for Luke Shaw to run into. Into Rashford. Don't do a flick. Just keep hold of it. He's kept hold of it. He's done well there. Inside ball. Oh. McTominay will pick it up again. Chelsea very, very busy. And McTominay's going to get booked there. Oh, it's not a good start from United. Chelsea all over United at the moment. So, well, if you're a Chelsea fan, you'd be very happy with what you're doing here. But if you're a Chelsea fan, you'd be very happy with this start. Early days, I'm not going to panic yet. It's a new United side, and certainly what we're going to do. Put Matic and Mata in there. They're not going to make any difference against the side that's moving the ball around quickly, isn't it? Are they? This is pretty much the best team we can play, midfield-wise. Christopher Blizzard says it's a so bad start from United. Chelsea just look on a different planet. I'm really impressed by Chelsea. I've got to be honest with you. Sometimes you just got to put your hands up, and it's like we're playing bloody Man City. The way they're passing the ball about. Good defensive header by Harry Maguire there. And again, that's what Harry Maguire gives you. But United just not able to get into this game at all at the moment. Now Rashford needs a run here. He's got to go inside. Come on! Easy ball. This is the thing with United. We get the ball and we give it back straight away. Chelsea are just zipping it around, always finding the right pass. Here we go. Martial. Oh, he's got to do better than that. It's a stray pass into the edge of the box by Zuma, and Martial runs onto it, and he just sort of does a ground curly shot, which the keeper just gets down on easy. I think Martial should be finishing from there. Chance for Tony, says Sally Devil Red 7, and it was a good chance. I mean, he's quite far out when it comes to him. Zuma tries to pass across. Well, he's edge of the box. If he gets some height on that, I think the keeper's in trouble. Same area from where Tammy Abraham hit it anyway. David De Gea is captain. Pin this comment. Same as last year for Manchester United, no change. To be honest with you, I think it's unrealistic to think that Manchester United are going to finish the last season so badly and then suddenly be brilliant. There has to be an evolution. There has to be a period of improvement. You can't just do it from one to the other. I don't think the pre-season showed any sort of expectation that we were going to come into this game buzzing, but it's just, have we got a platform to build on? And Pogba's just tried a long ball there for Martial that didn't work, so it's back with the keeper. Hoping United will grow into the game quickly, says Cathal Murta. I agree. United midfield is showing its lack of depth, says Dion Doherty. The problem with United's midfield, we all spoke about it anyway, and I'm not saying we're going to lose this game or whatever, that's not what I'm saying, but we all know that United's midfield is weak. It's the weak point. You can't say it's the mint with the hole and then the season starts and pretend it's okay. If McTominay, Pereira and Pogba doesn't work, you're using Matic and Fred. That's it. That's your options. But the passing there, I mean, Pogba with the stray pass, United just look a little bit lethargic and they're not looking as... Pereira's doing a lot of running, but United's passing is off at the moment and Chelsea's passing is on. And we're going to get past the round and we're going to get tired if we're not careful. Got to work hard. Let's try and be more positive, says Ben Bristow. Yeah, that's what I mean. We've just got to work hard. We're fine. It's 0-0. It's not. We're not winning. We're not losing yet. But Chelsea, I mean, let's have a look. There's a nice little flick there into the right back position. And that should be 1-0. Oh, what a cross. What a cross. And Tammy Abraham just couldn't get on the end of it along the 6-yard box. And Chelsea are pulling United around all over the shop at the moment. This is a bit worrying. And a cross comes in, it goes offshore and it's into De Gea's hands. But again, another good bit of play by Chelsea down the right-hand side. I think it's Azpilicueta. There's Chelsea players absolutely queuing up as he puts the cross in and it's just ahead of two of them. I mean, Tammy Abraham is literally half a second off a tap in there in the 6-yard box. Chelsea haven't scored yet, a lot of people say. %32 possession for United, 68% possession to Chelsea. But it's 0-0. It's 0-0. Remember, you can download the OneFootball app in the link in the video description. It will literally take you about 10 seconds because that's how long it took me. I'm just going to go to it now and have a quick look. So, Manchester United versus Chelsea. Live ticker. We don't need that because we're watching it. In the general play, actually possession is 74.1% for Chelsea, 25% for United. Duels won, 60% Chelsea, 40% United. Aerial duels won, 50-50. Total shots on goal, 2-1 to Chelsea. Not really relevant at the moment. Tackles won, 3 each. So yeah, it's the passing and the that's the thing at the moment that's causing the problems. We'll keep an eye on that. You can download it, the link in the video description. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We're crap at home, says Anas Ahmed, and I think that's a very good point that none of us have really spoken about. Our home form in the last 2 years has been shocking. And that's something that Ollie's got to rectify as well. Because even under Ollie, we weren't that great at home. We're a good away team. Are we playing at home or away, says Luke Skywalker? Exactly. It's like we are playing like the away side at the moment. And a lot of that's down to sloppy play. And again, we lose the ball and they're up against it here with Mason Mount. He shoots from distance and it's straight at De Gea. But we are playing very much like the away side at the moment. Juan's not good enough to ban Bob Haram. I love how quickly people can change their mind about players. Bloody hell, it's the first 12 minutes of the season and we're writing players off already. Ball retention, says H-Ack. Exactly. The ball retention from United so far has been really, really poor. Let me just cut to this screen for a moment for you. So starting 11 is, as we know, but it's not really a 4-3-3 we're seeing. Andres Pereira is operating more in this area, and Pogba's actually over here with McTominay here. So a lot of people thought Lingard was going to play here. There is some interchangeability between Lingard and Pereira, and from Rashford and Martial, but Martial is more in the central position here, and Rashford more to the left so far. But they're swapping a lot, Lingard and Pereira's operating around the number 10 position, although at the moment that's where Lingard is, but it's more like a 4-2-2-2. You're seeing Pereira and Lingard here, and Pogba and McTominay here. We're not really playing with the width, although Lingard has wandered out into that position again at the moment. So yeah, there's a little bit of tactical analysis at the moment. The circle's around a lot. But yeah, Pereira is playing more as the number 10, which is where I think he's going to be most effective. But United are just really poor at the moment. Really, really poor. McTominay's just been caught late by Tammy Abraham there. You need to get up there, Scott. Show a bit of balls. It was just a little bit of a 50-50. Come on. We ain't got time for free kicks and stuff. Need to get our groove on. Can't string two passes together. A lot of people saying that in the live comments. Fred will fit perfectly with this game, says Adu, Guami, Aboku, and Tyson Marley. Ball over the top here. Will Martial get there ahead of Christensen? No. You should do, Anthony. That's not a foul. And we are playing like we have no midfield. Thanks, Ed, says Tyson Marley. No shape, bad passing, everyone is everywhere. What the fuck, says Abel Leon. This game is being lost in the midfield, says Ryan FTW. And it was, that was the fear, wasn't it? But it's still early days. Let's hope we can get back into it. But yeah, we know the midfield's weak. That's the thing. I don't understand. Well, I do understand why we didn't strengthen there, because we didn't, did we? Too much long ball, says Fast Eddie. Scott no good, says Lucan. Played this way, could get smashed, says somebody else. Not the most fluent of starts, says Chillbox or Chillbooks. Chelsea are all over us at the moment in a possession sense, and you've got to say they'll score in a moment if we're not careful. Cross comes in. Just get hold of the ball. I mean, that ball from McTominay is a good release ball. Now he's got to go. Martial, look at the runner. Look at the runner on the right hand side. Oh, he's gone left. Martial, switch the play. Rashford, switch the play. Pogba, sure. See, Chelsea are pressing a lot at the moment. Right, here's Martial. Oh, a stupid flick by Rashford. Stop your bloody flicks. If you know you can flick it to a player, do it. But stop blindly flicking the ball. It's so irritating. Just keep hold of the ball. Why flick it when you don't know it's going to go to a player? He's done it twice already. Stop flicking it around. You're not a bloody dolphin. Back with the hair. Yeah, I'm with you, the Fortnite gamers. Stop the bloody flicks. I don't mind flicks and tricks, but do it when you're going to give them the ball. He just flicks and he has got no idea where it's going to go. Chelsea back in possession, but here we go with Martial. He's won it. Nice little ball into Pereira. We'll have a yellow card for that, ref. Although Rashford's played on. Penalty! You are! It is a penalty as well. Brilliant advantage by the referee. Pereira was pulled down. He let it go on. Rashford goes into the area, pulls it back. Zuma commits himself, and it's a penalty. They're going to check on VAR. Because that's what happens these days. But that is a penalty. I don't think Rashford's probably over-egged it a little bit, but the kick, no, that's a penalty. Stonewall. No VAR ref's going to turn that round. And Manchester United, we saw this a lot last season. We saw it under Mourinho a lot. You get passed off the park a bit, but then we go and score a goal. So Paul Pogba, Zuma with the mistake. Pogba, will he give Manchester United the lead here, or will it? Well, I think Rashford might be taking it actually. Pogba will miss then because Pogba's not taking it. Rashford's taking the penalty, which is, well, remember PSG. Harder than a wedding night's dick. Point 2. We could get this. Chelsea be gutted. I don't care. You've got a transfer ban. Deal with it. Rashford earned the penalty. Rashford will step up and take the penalty. Is it the sequel? Rashford against Kepa. He's running at it straight on. He's not running at it with an angle. Is he going to do that little thing where he blasts it? Come on. Yeah! 1-0 to Manchester United. Marcus Rashford hits it home. Harder than a wedding night dick, the sequel. He's got some little celebration I don't understand. It looked like birds like that. But it's 1-0 to Manchester United. Some would say it's against the run of play. But the reality is, I'll give an assist to the referee. Pereira was pulled back. Rashford took it on. The ref played it on. Zuma made a silly tackle. And United lead 1-0. Marcus Rashford with the penalty. Happy days, happy days. All those people getting negative. Look, football's a game of football. That's why they call it football. And it's all about chances. And you can be passed off the park. And you can hit the post. And you can play well. But you can be 1-0 down if you give a penalty away. That's football. 1-0. Thank you very much. Manchester United and Marcus Rashford. And it's a very, very good penalty the way he put it away as well. Lovely stuff. Lovely. Very happy with that. And let's update score. Let's update the score. Manchester United lead 1-0 against Chelsea. They won't be happy, but I am very happy. We've hardly strung 2 passes together, and to be honest with you, the goal came from a mistake from Chelsea, but often that is what happens. That's just the way it is. 1-0, there we go. Manchester United. Oh, lovely stuff. Never a penalty. Rashford looking for an Oscar, says Shells HD. Well, the thing is, I don't like VAR, Shells HD, and I'm going to admit that. I don't like VAR, right? But the thing about VAR is, it is a penalty, because if there is a dive or there's a suspicion of a dive, they don't give a penalty. They review it. The referee gives the penalty and then it goes for somebody else to review it, and they've reviewed it and it's a penalty. And to be honest with you, I don't think there was an element of doubt that it was a penalty. I think that Zuma's made a stupid challenge, and if you give an opportunity, if you touch a defender, if a defender touches an attacker in an illegal way in the box, they've got every right to go down. Welcome to Mermit Mark Sengenalp, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And it's 1-0 to Manchester United. And the score has already been updated. There you go. Well, anyway, of more relevance, there's a free kick here that Pereira can whip in. And it could be Harry Maguire time. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what the public wants. We want a Harry Maguire goal. Pereira whips it in. Doesn't get enough height on it. But it comes to Mcguire in the back post. And he wins a corner. Yeah, this is what we want. Corners for Harry Maguire. This is what we want. Martial pressing has forced 2 poor kicks by Kepa, says Ernest Tabari. Interesting thing, in the last game against AC Milan, Martial covered more distance than anybody, but everyone else says he's lazy. Go figure. Nick P, let's be fair, we have a proper defence. Chelsea have Zuma in defence. Yeah, apparently Zuma's a brilliant defender, though. I think he's a bit of a Zoom. Anyway, Andreas Pereira on the corner, Harry Maguire on the end of this. This is a weapon if we get it right. Cross comes in, back post. Pogba and Mcguire going for the same ball there. They need to sort out that thing. Shaw into Pogba. No. The atmosphere sounds better than last year, says Sean Atwood. It will be. You give the fans something to cheer about, and they'll cheer. Boy, oh boy. Beans. Epic fail. I haven't even noticed Lingard in this game at the moment. But United are on the attack now with Martial, who I think Martial started off quite well. Pereira picks it up. There's an overlap for Wan-Bissaka. Go on. Oh, what's he doing? What's the ref doing? He stopped it because Christensen's hurt himself. Oh, poor boy. I don't really know what happened, so I don't want to be. I don't want to be too mean on Christensen, to be honest. Yeah, he sort of caught hold of Martial. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's nice to be in the lead, isn't it? It is. 18 minutes gone. Marcus Rashford with the goal for United. So I don't know what happens here. This is one of them new things, isn't it? Where it might be a drop ball or something. See, this year we even give you the scorer underneath the thing. It takes me a little bit of time to remember I've got to do that before I get told off by Drawty. But Rashford after 18 minutes. There you go. 1-0 to Manchester United. Come on, United, says Amrix Maddox JK. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. The ball's gone back to De Gea then because you don't have these silly drop balls anymore, do you? United passing it out from the back here with Lindelof. See, that's the confidence that you don't get with Jones and Smalling. That ability to pass out from the back. Lingard's won this. He needs a runner. He'll go wide to Wan-Bissaka. Come on, United. We are hurting Chelsea on the break a lot, which is funny. A lot of people said we were playing like the away side. Wan-Bissaka needs some help here. Get a challenge on that. Kepa head punches it away. Comes to Pereira. United. Luke Shaw wins it back. That's good. McTominay. Just keep hold of the ball. Oh, Rashford. Rashford's just sort of on the verge of something, isn't he? He's still getting the goals, but then he's still doing some bad bits as well. You just want to find him that consistency. Timo says Lingard's crap. I think actually the more relevant comment is from Joke619 who says that Lingard's been absent. He's really not been in the game at all, actually. But I did talk about this in the preview of the game. Rashford's coming down the left-hand side here. He's got 3 players on him, but that's better. Just keep hold of the ball. Finds Martial. Back post to Wan-Bissaka on the edge of the penalty box. Confidence for these two teams is big. Because, they've both got some young players in there. They've both got inexperienced managers in some ways. Both trying to do it against the odds. Transfer ban for Chelsea. Not much money spent for United when you think about the 66 million net spend. So confidence is going to be really, really important. Foul on Harry Maguire there. Robert Paquet saying that Lingard is a non-factor at the moment, which I think is pretty fair. He's not really in the game at all. But look, United lead 1-0. That's the most important thing. Last 10 minutes of possession. Manchester United 69% and Chelsea 31%, says Archie Ralph. Yeah, United are now trying to pass out a bit. I mean, Harry Maguire here, he'll never just hit a long ball. He's just switched it from his own penalty box up in the air, about 30 yards to Wan-Bissaka. So United, if United can get their passing game on, because it wasn't on at all for the first sort of 15 minutes. If they can get their passing game on, it's going to make a lot of difference. And I'm just looking in the app here. You can download the app, the OneFootball app. And the possession is changing a lot because in the last, it was 70%. It's now come down to 57% for Chelsea. So that's quite a big swing. Duels won. We're winning more duels than them, 52%. So only just. Aerial duels won. United have won 66% to Chelsea's 33%, which just shows you what a player like Harry Maguire brings to Manchester United. Those aerial duels, we'll be keeping an eye on that throughout this game and throughout the season. It really, really does help United having somebody who can do that. Yeah, good to see. Chelsea on the possession here at the moment. You can download the app. The link's in the video description. OneFootball, please do. It doesn't take very long. You get all your latest United news there, and it's really good for when the games are on for all your stats. Chelsea having to go back to the keeper here. 26 minutes gone. United lead 1-0. Stonewall penalty for me, as far as I'm concerned. No doubts about it. Chelsea started off well, but it was a penalty. And Zuma is... See, that's good from United. Pressuring Kepa there, and he ends up with a ball that's doing nothing. Both teams trying to play out from the back, and I think that could lead to some errors. Harry Maguire winning another ball in the air there. Tammy Abraham's quite tall for a striker, but he ain't going to do much against Harry Maguire. And I think that with regards to someone like Aaron Wan-Bissaka and a Harry Maguire, they are works in progress. You know, pre-season, to be honest with you, doesn't really mean anything. It's nice. Pre-season's nice. You get a glimpse and, you know, you try things out. It doesn't mean anything. If you win all your pre-season games and then lose your first 3 games of the season, it doesn't mean anything that you did well in pre-season. So, you know, Wan-Bissaka's got to take that potential and form into this season. And playing in the Premier League at Old Trafford, it brings its own pressures. And you've got to be patient with these players. I think he's going to be a fantastic right-back. But, you know, you've got to be patient with him. And the same with Harry Maguire. The same with Scott McTominay, the same with Andreas Pereira. We've got to give him a bit of patience. And I would even say someone like Jesse Lingard, who's not been in this game at all, in his form, is very, very concerning over the last sort of 8 months. I'd still rather see Lingard running around in a United shirt than Juan Mata. And apparently Joe Baker says that Tammy Abraham is 6'3". And to be honest, he's been playing like a hobbit, because Harry Maguire just wins everything in the air. He's fantastic. Lampard will get sacked by November, says Matthew Chapman. I don't know. I think Chelsea have played quite well. I just think the problem Chelsea are going to have, I think, is that I think they're in the final third. Where are they going to get all their goals from? Because Wan-Bissaka isn't going to play against them every week, but Hazard isn't there anymore. Another interception by Harry Maguire there, very strong. And this is better from United. This is much better. Pogba, no foul. He's not giving any fouls against Pogba, which is a shame there because we're on a good little bit of a break. Harry is slotted in brilliantly, says Apex. Yeah, I've really enjoyed... I think Harry Maguire is going to be one of my favourite players at United anyway, because he's just what we want to see. Good track in there from Lingard. He's come into the game a lot better in the last 5 minutes. Good tackle. He's doing a lot of running. He got involved in a bit of build-up play there, so that's good to see. Manchester United have got to win this, says Jose Messi. I think, to be fair, it's been quite an equal game the last few minutes since United have got back into it. Before the goal, Chelsea were absolutely dominating us. Wan-Bissaka, I mean, time and time again, Wan-Bissaka's just having like 2 or 3 Chelsea players with him because we haven't got a right winger playing really. Good interception by McTominay into Lingard. Give it to... Go on, Martial. Overlap to Shaw. He'll shoot. Oh... Tony needs to get his eye in, really. It's a difficult position, but he's put it over that time. But good interception by McTominay. Feeds it into Lingard. I think he thought about shooting. Passes it wide to Martial. Just on the edge of the box. And he shoots over. Poor, says Ryan Mancom. Martial. I think Martial's played really well there, Ryan. I think he's done a lot of graft. And his pressing has forced mistakes. So it's not always about what you do on the ball. See, that shouldn't be happening. One ball from the right back straight into their attackers. Oh no! Oh, we got lucky there. I think Luke Shaw slipped and it fell through to Mount on the right hand side. He went into the penalty box. I thought he was going to shoot and he tried to square it and it was a bad ball. No, it wasn't Luke Shaw actually. Luke Shaw was out of position. It was McTominay who slipped over, but poor ball by Mason Mount. We got away with it a little bit there. But Chelsea are a threat. Chelsea are a threat. Chelsea are a threat. Let's not forget. Martial into the box. We'll have another penalty here, ref, if we can. No, he's kept hold of the ball, though. Good work by Martial. Luke Shaw. Martial. Cross comes in. Pogba. Oh. Had to stretch for that. What are your thoughts about Pogba? What are your thoughts about Pogba? I think it's very easy with Pogba to say, oh, he's got that languid style. He doesn't look interested, isn't he? But I just think it's the way he is. He's not getting many fouls from the referee, Pogba. I think Pogba's game's a bit of an average one. In fact, I'll do the player ratings in a moment. Nick P, haven't felt this for a while, but our defence is pretty solid. Imagine if we had a proper right winger too, so Wan doesn't have to do 2 jobs. I think that's a very, very, very good point from Nick there. It is almost like Wan-Bissaka's doing 2 jobs, which is why you can understand why we've got Delo and Young. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is great in defence, but have to really work on his attacking game, says Charlie. That isn't even a problem comment, Charlie. That's a fact. Like, everybody knows that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a very, very good defensive right back. Going forward, he's got to work on that. Foul on Rashford there. Afternoon, folks, says Helene Boston. Afternoon. Manchester United winning 1-0. David De Gea is the captain for the 100th time. Will it finally be the season the young 27-year-old up-and-coming Lingard finally lives up to expectations, says Alligator. Look, at the end of the day, we're winning, lads. Wan-Bissaka's man of the match for somebody. Oh my God, Wan-Bissaka is incredible, says James Jarvis. I know, he is. He is a very, very good player. I think he's... This is better by Lingard. Took it down well. Final ball's good. Into Martial. Into No, he's gone past one. Martial. Good tackle though. Pogba's won it back. Into Lingard. Pogba. Martial. Pogba. Oh, he could have hit that first time. Rashford will be offside. Good play from there. Lovely little interplay between Lingard and Martial and Pogba played it through to Rashford. But actually, I think that Pogba should have hit it first time. Yeah, well, it's a foul. It'll be a foul. Kovacic on Pogba. He's got to give the foul. Forget the offside. That's a foul. Why is he not giving the foul on Pogba? That's bloody ridiculous. He didn't give the foul. Like, he's reviewing the bloody offside and it was a foul. Crap referee. I know he did well on the first one. That's just ridiculous. Why didn't he give the foul? They go and review the offside and they don't bloody give the foul. Idiot. Senior Rogers says that Chelsea will come back into this. Well, Chelsea are very much in this game. I think, you know, that they will feel somewhat aggrieved, but that's football, isn't it? You know, sometimes you don't get what you think you deserve. They've had quite a few shots. In fact, we'll have a look at that. Let's have a look. Let's go to the One Football app, which you can download. The link in the video description. Possession is nearly 50-50 now. Chelsea have made 201 passes to United's 153 passes. But I'm not interested in that. I'm more interested in shots on goal. United have actually had more than Chelsea, 5-4, which surprises me a little bit. Yellow card here then. Andres Pereira, wasn't looking at it. Zuma. Yeah, yellow card. What are your feelings on Pereira so far, says Ari Guadalia. You know what my feelings about Andres Pereira are? That we've just got to not expect instant gratification. You know, when you go into... Look, I'm not going to go down that road, but it doesn't happen straight away, does it? You know, there's got to be a bit of foreplay. There's got to be a bit of enjoyment. And I think with Pereira, look, does he have to have a 10 out of 10 game today? No, I'd be happy with a 7 out of 10. You know, better than average. Build on that, build on that, build on that. I've said this about United for so long. I said it about Fred last year when he came in against Wolves. He made the mistake, but I thought he played quite well. Give them 10 games in a row to build. Don't chop and change. United can have the best defence this season. Midfield is fluid until we get Matic on the pitch, says Udat Banaga. Yeah, everything's about building. If you think that defence is playing well today, in 5-10 games it'll be playing even better. We've got to grow as a team, and I think he's got to keep this same side, if you know what I mean. But Chelsea coming back. down that left-hand side. But it's a free kick here for Chelsea. Mason Mount will take it. Now this is something I want to highlight here, and I'm brave enough to say they won't score from this goal because we've got a player now in Harry Maguire who will go and win this header if it's in a dangerous area, which we haven't had for a long time. United don't create much. Why do you think that is, says Jordan Such. It's a problem that's been a problem for a while with United. So the cross comes in from Mason Mount. It's not a very good cross, so we don't get the example of a mean. But even if they did put a good cross in, Harry Maguire just brings us that. United do look. We're much like the team's a work in progress. United's a work in progress. We don't create many chances. We didn't create many chances in pre-season. We didn't create many chances in the last three months of the season either. You think about that PSG game that we won in Paris, and everyone's, oh, what a great result. We didn't actually create many chances in that game, and we need to get back to doing that. I mean, we do need to do that, but all these things are going to happen with growth. Oh, Harry Maguire there, under pressure, spin, turn, and finds a pass. And that's what I like about Harry Maguire as well. Oh, cool, Martial, not a very good ball there. Might put us in a bit of bother here. Barkley, don't let him on his right foot, Lindelof. What a save, De Gea. He's back to normal. De Gea's back. That was a good shot by Barkley, well in the box. And De Gea makes a save with his feet. It came from a mistake from Martial on the halfway line. Feed Barkley in. I mean, Chelsea have been very good in the way they've moved the ball. Good shot by Barkley, and it's more or less at De Gea, really, but he does great work with his feet as per usual. 39 minutes gone. Barkley again. United need to get hold of the ball a bit here. We're just knocking it out and no one's getting hold of it. Back post. This could be a goal. Emerson hits the post. Bloody hell. Tell you what. I'll tell you what. That was a chance. Ball over to the back. Wan-Bissaka can't be marking the left back for them as well. And it should be a goal. It should be a goal. Nick P, why is Pogba so deep? We have a major issue here. Our three midfielders are not playing in their native positions. Actually, they're all over the place. It was Lindelof who did the spin, says by James Sad. It wasn't. It was Harry Maguire. Chelsea dominating us at the moment, though. They're ending this half like they started the half. And if United need to just get half time here because we don't want to give Chelsea the momentum of an equaliser. Well played, Harry Maguire. Strength there. But they have hit the post twice. De Gea looks frustrated, says Luca. Let's be honest, though. I mean, I think Chelsea have dominated. United have just struggled throughout the game just to keep hold of the ball, especially in that midfield area. Alligator, Barkley's boss in the midfield, things I'd never thought I'd say. Yeah. It's a bit like Phil Jones is man of the match, isn't it? You know, he's not even playing, but yeah, things you thought you'd never say. No, it was Harry Maguire. Don't care, I'm not going to change my mind. Free kick, throw in here for Manchester United. No, it was definitely Harry Maguire. You can say it was a Lindelof as much as you like. I might be messing with you, but I'm still not going to change my mind. Pogba. I think Pogba just needs to move the ball a little bit quicker. I know he's like absolutely fundamental to United this season, but simplicity in the position he's playing in is very important. because he's not playing very advanced. And I wonder if Pogba will be happy doing that this season. I said this last night on the show. I just wonder about Paul Pogba as to what his mindset is really. He's playing in a midfield that's weaker. Is he going to be happy to just do that role and work harder? United won't always be this lucky with the post saving them, says Ronaldo 93. I know, you're right. It was Maguire, says mine, Red Devil 7. We know. Let them have a little paddy in the live comments. It doesn't matter. I'm not reading any of their comments out anyway. So, seriously though, it's like 3 minutes to half time. Can we stop talking about the spin? It's irrelevant. Chelsea on the attack. Again. So much of the ball. And they've used it so well. Luke Shaw's broke it here. Martial to Shaw. Come on, somebody make a run for it. Give it to Martial. Martial, edge of the box. See, it's all slowed down now. Luke Shaw, too slow there. We had a good run. It's just slow. Pogba wins it back. Wide. We're just a little bit apprehensive in the final third. Here's Rashford. Into Martial, into the box. See, again, too many touches in the box. Too many touches in the box. Had 2 opportunities there in the space of 2 minutes where we're into the box area and we just all want to take too many touches. Just bloody try and move it a little bit quicker. Oh. United have got it back. We need just to get to half time now. Get to half time, and if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be honest with you, get to half time and have a go at them. There are some similarities between... Can anyone remember the game against Leicester last season? There are some similarities. We didn't play particularly well against Leicester, but we still won the game. And I think sometimes that's just the way we roll at United, isn't it? I mean, Pogba looks frustrated there. Nothing going on ahead of him and playing in a deep role. I do worry about Pogba's mindset this season because he's such an important player for us. And if he gets frustrated, he's definitely putting the work in. Lovely play by Pogba there, beating the man with the body. Right, Martial, on that left-hand side. Space to run into. Luke Shaw's on the overlap. Into Luke Shaw. Cross coming in. Oh, he tried to cut it back for Lingard. Not good enough. Rance will be moaning. 45 minutes gone. Chelsea again. Pedro. Two minutes to be added on, so we've still got a minute and a half to go. Chelsea, I tell you what, apart from the fact that it's Manchester United and I just want us to win, I think again it's been a decent game. Good interception there by McTominay, stretching out those big legs to stop a cut-through pass. United are really sloppy, says Millsy boy Harry. Red Baron, Brexit in a nutshell. I don't care if it's staring me in the face, I'm not changing my mind. I'm just bantering the live comments because I know it was Lindelof. Of course, I did think it was Mcguire, and then I knew it was Lindelof because all you lot were telling me, but I'll just banter you. I'd like to see James or Greenwood on, bring a bit more directness and simplicity to our play, says Akil Karnell. And that's the positive, isn't it? We have got those options on the bench. And we have got those options on the bench. But the midfield is, you can't moan about the midfield when we've been moaning about the midfield all summer. We know the midfield is the problem. Good catch by De Gea on that back post. That should be about it now. 46 minutes and 44 seconds. Referee's only going to add 2. So that should be it. De Gea just using up the last few seconds there quite intelligently. And the ref blows the half-time whistle. Manchester United leading 1-0 at half-time in what has been a very, very odd half of football. I wouldn't even want to hide the fact that United winning the game, but by no means the better side. Chelsea hitting the post twice, dominating the play, playing the better football, but United getting 1-0 ahead. Fair play to the referee. It was a foul, I think, on Pereira, but he played it on. Rashford gets in the box. Zuma fouled him. Rashford puts the penalty away. Really, really good penalty. And United lead 1-0, but they've hit the post with Tammy Abraham. They've hit the post with Emerson. They've dominated the ball. They've been the better side. United leading 1-0. United need to do a lot more in the second half because I can't see Chelsea not scoring. I think that Chelsea in some ways have surprised me how much they've dominated the ball, how much a threat they've looked. But the same old problem for Manchester United that we'll say the same old problem, the problem many people predicted, that we didn't invest in the midfield, we lost Ander Herrera, and we didn't replace Ander Herrera. People like Scott McTominay, Andreas Pereira, Paul Pogba, Nemanja Matic, Fred, they were all here last year. With Herrera. Herrera walked out the door and we didn't replace him. We needed two midfielders, we didn't bring any in. And we look at the game today and those question marks about the midfield still remain. However, what I would say is defensively, I think we've been rather good. I think we have been rather good. I think Lindelof's looks good, Wan-Bissaka's looked good, Maguire's looked good, Luke Shaw's looked good, but they've created chances by runners off the midfield. And I said this at the start of the season, just because we've got a good goalkeeper and a good defence doesn't mean we won't concede every week, because the midfield have got to pick the runners up. And Chelsea have done that really well with people like Ross Barkley. They've just kept making runs, and you can't pick everybody up when you're trying to keep your space. Dane Summer says, Martial is just a one-trick pony. Don't think he's got a future with us once Greenwood gets going. I love that sort of comment, because Anthony Martial's probably worked harder than anybody in the front three, but because he hasn't beaten four players, had his dinner on the pitch and polished his shoes, he's had a bad half. Drawty, can you hear me?
I can do. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What did you think on that half, mate?
I thought Chelsea started brightly. Like I said, Tammy Abraham, a danger. He is in around the box. Obviously hit the post. Emerson hit the post as well. So Chelsea have been knocking on the door. I thought Aaron Wan-Bissaka looked very, very solid. And Harry Maguire looks very composed in centre-back. I think individually, the defence have done okay. I think it's just because they're not used to playing as a unit. Obviously, they're getting a little bit muddled in their positions, which is probably playing into Chelsea's hands a little bit. But they're not getting much protection from the midfield, I kind of think.
No, I'm just saying that about the defence for United. It's like, they're not that United defence, as good as it is, it's not going to be impenetrable when you've got players making runs from the midfield that are not being tracked. And look, I like McTominay and I like Pereira and I like Pogba, but is it a good enough midfield three? I think it's the best midfield three we've got, because I think, you know what, if you think the midfield's played poorly, imagine what it would be like with Matic, because he'd just get bypassed in a game like this. Maybe Fred could do a job, but Fred isn't even on the bench. So to me, this just comes back to the fact that games are won and lost in the midfield, and Chelsea pretty much run that game because they've dominated the midfield, and they haven't even got their best midfielder on the pitch, which is Kante. So they've been very intelligent in the way they move the ball, and they've moved the ball very accurately, which is something I think United haven't done. We've not been able to keep the ball. We've been very, very sloppy, and that again is something we can improve on. It's not just about quality of midfielder, it's the quality of the ball. And United, Pogba's been guilty of it, Pereira, McTominay, Lingard, Rashford, Martial, the build-up play. Just keep hold of the ball for a couple of minutes. We've just not been able to do it.
I think that's probably, start of season nerves at the end of the day. They're trying to get on the front foot, and sometimes when you're trying to win a game, whether it's ugly or whatever, I think sometimes you can... Rashford, as we've seen, he's had a couple of little flicks that he shouldn't have done, and he's trying a little bit too hard. I think, again, it's probably pre-match nerves. Our midfield, we knew anyway from the start of the season, it's not all that we would have hoped it for. We haven't got Bruno Fernandes, we haven't got, say, Milinkovic-Savic or anyone like that. McTominay and Pereira, as much as I like those two, they're not world class, are they? Or not certainly yet anyway. And the only decent, Pogba's basically the linchpin in the midfield, so I think that's where your ball retention's falling down, and I kind of feel like it's just not a strong midfield. It's not one that's going to fight for the ball and retain possession easily, put it that way.
No. I mean, I suppose going into the second half, we just got the lineup there, and we're just talking about Lingard there. But going back to the page, Martial is pressing and working hard. Good stuff, says Shaney Boy. I totally agree with that. I think people, they want too much. And Sean Ty says that Pogba's underperforming. I did worry about Pogba a lot in that half, actually. I think he's certainly trying, but I just wonder how Paul Pogba's mindset is. I mean, I said it before you came on. We sold Ander Herrera and we didn't replace him, and he would be he would be playing in this game, and he would be one of our better players in this game, and we haven't even replaced him. Pogba's having to play deep. I just wonder whether Pogba's even happy playing in that role, and yet we've got these rumours that he wants to leave as well. Dervo Mudrosti says that poorest player on the pitch is Pogba, in my opinion. I think Pogba's worked hard. I just think that he kept slipping, says Jonathan Gallagher. Yeah, he's been caught in the possession a little bit. Second half, it can't be more of the same, because Chelsea have hit the post twice. You feel that they will get a chance at some point. What would you do second half? What sort of changes would you make? Because I wouldn't want to see a Matic or Mata coming on, and other than that, I mean, the only other substitutions that we've got are people like Ashley Young or Greenwood or James. You've got to try and get the best out of the players that you've got, and I just think if we can get hold of the ball a bit better, that might help.
The only thing I could think of is I wouldn't change the defence. Definitely not. I wouldn't change McTominay because that means bringing on Matic, so that's one change, and I wouldn't bring off Pogba either. I think the two you've probably got to look at if you want to change things up, probably Lingard and Pereira. Possibly, I know he's untested, but I'd maybe say bring on Angel Gomez for Lingard.
He's not on the bench, mate.
Oh, I thought he was. My bad.
The bench is, if we go back, the bench is Sergio Romero, Twan Sebi, Young, Mata, Matic, Daniel James and Mason Greenwood.
Bring on Daniel James then.
Yeah.
Honestly, just get some pace going. And to be honest with you, if you brought Mata on, if you played him in his natural position of attacking midfield where he was at Chelsea, that would massively help out the attack. And I just think Mata needs to play in his best position. He's never had that chance at United. So
yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't be too opposed to bring Mata on, because I just don't want to see Matic on. But Mata, we just need someone to get hold of the ball. We've been so sloppy with the ball, and I think also United have had a couple of opportunities moving into the final third, and then we just slow it down, and we almost don't know what to do when we're in and around the penalty box, and it slows down a bit. It's look, we're a work in progress, and there will be frustration with that, but we are a work in progress, and there will be frustration with the fact that we're a little bit lost with the signings that we've made or that have not been made, especially in the midfield. And but is it if that was a game of who's the best tactical manager, I'm sorry, Lampard wins. He's not winning the game because that is the way football goes. Sometimes you hit the post twice, the other team scores a penalty, but the better footballing side is Chelsea at the moment. The better tactics have come from Frank Lampard. But it's a game of two halves, and it's how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reacts to it. And personally, I would be saying, look, just get hold of the ball. I know they're pressing us, but we're pressing them, and they're still doing little triangles. Like, get hold of the ball and move the ball. Make the ball do the work. Decent first half, get Lingard out and James in, says Mr. Glenn Johnson. A lot of people giving Lingard a lot of stick, and he was a bit absent in that game, but if you actually watch it, he is doing quite a lot of work. Let's just have a look at some of the stats. Remember, you can download the OneFootball app. The link is in the video description. So possession has changed a lot. At one point, it was 70% for Chelsea. It's now 55%. United have won more duels. We've won 62% of the aerial duels, which is quite dominant, and I think that a lot of that's to do with Harry Maguire and Lindelof. Obviously, it's 1-0 to United. Chelsea have had 8 shots to our 5, 3 shots on target to our 2. They've won more tackles than us, and their distribution 277 passes to 222. Pass accuracy, they're beating us on that, and fouls conceded is 6 and 6. So look, United need to do a lot better in the second half, Draughty. So would you make a change at half time? Because that's one thing about Ollie is, and a lot of people say this, he is sometimes slow to react. So I don't think we'll see any subs at half time.
To be honest with you, I think in most cases, any changes will come around about the 60th minute. Generally, managers like to get in at half time, say whatever they need to say. We are winning, so it's not like it's a position where we have to come back and drag the game. So I wouldn't imagine he'd make any changes at half time. But if there is going to be any, potentially just take off Lingard and change it up there. But other than that, at the end of the day, sometimes you need to win, even if you're not playing pretty. And that's always a good sign if you can grind out a win when you're not potentially at your best. So I just feel like the defense through to the attack is a bit disconnected because of the midfield. I don't know about you. I just don't think the midfield area is that strong at the moment.
I don't. I always said that in the summer. I can't believe we didn't spend in there, and it does frustrate me that we're at the start of the whole season, and basically that's our best midfield, and it can only get worse because we didn't sign any players, and it is a frustration because I think there are so many good things about that team, but the midfield is going to be a constant concern. And I just hope that I think what we've got to do with Pereira and McTominay is if they put in a 6 or 7 out of 10 today, they don't get drops next week. Just keep playing them. them. I think it's the right midfield. It's weak compared to a lot of teams, but that's probably the best midfield we've got, and we're just going to have to keep playing it and being consistent with it and not expect instant success, because I don't want to go back to Matic and I don't want to go to Mata. I want us to just try and build something. Do you think our current team can get top 4, says Ryan Coburn? We just got to take it every game as it comes. I don't think that we're going to be hitting the levels we want to hit on the first few weeks. I think there's going to have to be an element of luck, and there's going to have to be an element of grinding it out. I mean, we're lucky to be 1-0 up at half time. If it stays 1-0, I'll happily take the 3 points. And Chelsea might walk away and say we were unlucky, but we are a work in progress, and I think we're going to need some luck to get top 4. But we're in a great situation where we could have been losing at half time. We're winning 1-0. Ollie needs to earn his stripes, really, because Chelsea's team's no better than ours, and Frank Lampard's no better than Ollie. But at the moment, that's not the case. So let's hope it's a game of 2 halves, and the next goal is going to be key, really, Draw, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of feel like Chelsea have been knocked off, but at the end of the day, this is going to be a good test for the new back 4 anyway. And you're right, you can't keep ringing in the changes in the midfield. I'm happy McTominay's there instead of Matic. I don't think Matic would have done a better job than McTominay, and I think it would have been a lot slower. So, again, Pereira needs some minutes on the board because what is he, 23, 24 now?
23, I think.
So again, he needs to be, if he wants to be a first-team player, and it's now or never for him, and you're not going to get that if you keep swapping players in and out of the team all the time. So right now, I wouldn't ring the changes, and even for the next game, you kind of want to stick with this midfield 3 because other than that, yes, you could bring in Fred. Is Fred? There's a few question marks over Fred in terms of his just his confidence with the club, and maybe then you could swap Pereira for Fred, but other than that, you haven't really got too many other options because you just don't want to play Matic, do you?
Not at all. Rabani says Greenwood, James on an excellent DM mark, says Rabani. And do you reckon Garner or Traore might get a chance this season? They could be really good even though they lack experience, says Abinaf. I think they're just probably a little bit too young. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing what's his name? Twansibi tried in the midfield. I don't know whether we would do that. The more midfield options that we can create, the better, essentially. And I hate to be negative, but why on earth would Pogba want to play in this midfield till next May and also in the Europa, says Jordan Search? Oh, well, we've already spoken about that. United have got to make him do it, though. I
do feel sorry for I genuinely feel sorry for Pogba, though, because everything is on him again, and nothing's improved from last season in the midfield.
Well, it's worse.
So, it is worse for him. He's lost Ander Herrera, and Herrera was our second best midfielder, and now you've lost him. So now Pogba's basically got a bunch of kids, Matic, and it's all on him. And I really feel for him. And the trouble is, if he's forced to stay, well, are you going to get the best out of him? What I worry about is once the European window closes, if he's thinking, oh, I'm stuck here for the season now. If everything's going okay, then possibly, mentally he'll probably be like, actually, this is all right. This is working out. We just need to get through these first few weeks. Because if the defence is really strong, that's going to help Pogba kind of free up his game, because he can then obviously get forward a little bit more. Because if he knows that Harry Maguire and Lindelof are behind him, Pogba can play his game a bit. But at the moment, it kind of feels he's kind of back to square one.
I do feel sorry for Pogba. I said it last night. Like, Lukaku moans, acts like a prat and gets a move. Pogba, says I want to go, but actually is professional. Goes on the tour, doesn't get his move. I do sympathise with him, and again I blame the board, because I just think, well, they haven't improved the midfield, they've weakened it, they won't let him go, which is why I think Pogba's mindset is so important. You could almost forgive him for being disillusioned and not playing that well, but if he does, he deserves a lot of credit. Anyway, second half's about to kick off. I will get you on for the last 10 or 15 minutes, if that's all right, mate.
Yeah, I'm just going to say very, very quickly, 20,000 of you watching, please subscribe to the channels. Try and get up to 532,000, potentially.
There you go. I will speak to you in the last 10 minutes of the game.
All righty, mate. See you later.
Cheers, pal. Sam Saganda says, well, Ollie's taken away penalty to Rome's responsibility from Pogba. Doesn't quite... Oh, wait a minute. Chelsea are in here straight from the bloody kickoff. Corner. Doesn't take quite back the superb mentality for captainship bullshit. Looks like Pogba has an eye on the transfer window. You know what about Pogba, though? We absolutely cannot sell him. We cannot sell him. How could we sell him? There's no transfer window for us to replace him, and the midfield would just be a bloody nightmare. We would be mid-table without Pogba. We've got to force him to stay and just hope he doesn't get moody about it. Anyway, the second half has started like the first half. Corner comes in, and Lindelof didn't win that header, and it's a goal kick. I don't know why that player thinks it's a corner, but Zuma trying to make amends from his mistake. Yeah, do subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and remember the United Stand, we're live every night at 8 o'clock, apart from tonight, because obviously this game's not going to finish till about 6:30, and then we're going to have fan cams and match reactions coming in after the game. Live at 8 o'clock every night, match reactions, previews, fan cams, everything going on this channel. Call-ins, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock is a call-in. So yeah, get involved. You're going to really enjoy it. Lingard work rate did help winning as the penalty though, says Michael Fraser. Yeah, I think Lingard and Martial have done a lot of running off the ball, but everybody focuses on the ball. Here's an interesting fact for you. United have never lost a game in the Premier League when they've been winning at half time. Never. In how many years has the Premier League been going? Nearly 30. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Pretty amazing. Andy Dawson says this team will never be good under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Is Pulisic on for Chelsea now? I didn't even notice that. Let's go to the One Football app. You can download it. Link in video description. One-stop shop for all your Manchester United news. And when there's a game on, you can get all your stats there as well. No, he's not on yet, is he? Maguire with the header. The thing about Mcguire is he always looks to find a pass as well. There's another flick there from Martial this time. Why are we doing flicks? The ball goes into Martial on the floor and he flicks it. You don't fucking flick it. I'm sorry to swear, but I've seen Rashford flick it twice. Martial flick it there. Stop flicking it. It doesn't go to the man. If you didn't flick it, you control it, have it under control better and pass it to the player. Sure, weak. People need to see Lindelof heading, says Udit Batnaga. I didn't notice a bad performance from Luke Shaw. I think you see what you see, don't you? Martial looking like he's got a bit of an injury here. Nice by Pereira. Pogba. Oh, poor pass. See, the passing's off from United again. You're not going to build a platform if your passing's not working. Flicks get chicks, says Dub Scout. Well, maybe one of these flicks will come off in this game at the moment. Martial looks like he's done. Defence passes better than midfield. How ironic, says Adu Gamafi Opoku. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Now, Luke Shaw's a couple of injuries for United here at the moment. I think Luke Shaw will run that off. That's a foul. Oh, Nikita, you will never know. Midfield needs improving ASAP, says Anon. Yeah, we've had 3 months to do that and we chose not to, mate. Don't even start about the midfield. And Xander Vicky says that the passing needs to be worked on ASAP. I mean, it's such a simple thing. Just start playing the 5-yard pass that's easy along the ground. And you can do it forward. You know, just find some space and keep hold of the ball. Stop flicking it. Stop looking for bloody Hollywood 50-yard passes. Just do it easy. I mean, I think defensively we've been quite good at it. Have we managed to string together 3 passes yet? Says Ryan FTW. Exactly. I don't know, Ryan. I don't know. Well, up by Lindelof. See, this is a problem for United. It's like Wan-Bissaka is basically playing as a right back and a right winger, and Emerson for Chelsea's had so much space, and I think that's something that teams that are going to play against United will say. Fullbacks, very important. Pedro with a decent shot there, just over, wants a corner for it, and he's going to get it. It has felt like an away performance from United though, hasn't it? Ball retention is so bad, says Ryan Mankham. A few misplaced passes need to tighten up, especially in the midfield, says Gary Philby. Well, the second half is, at the moment, going very much the same as the first half. We've only had 5 minutes of it, but Chice, as AJ Nell says, they're all over us. Corner. That's Mcguire winning it. See, that's massively important. Martial is injured, apparently, says Joss ICNX. No, it looks alright. I think it was just a knock. I'm sensing a feeling of trepidation. Lovely by Harry Maguire there. And he's just dropped somebody off the ball as well. Lovely running by Lingard. Oh, that'll be a yellow card. You've got to book him, ref. Well done. Jorginho. Good running by Lingard there. And they had to chop him down, which was a shame. So good to see the boys starting off well, says the Machine 94. I don't know whether that's sarcasm or not. But that all came from a brilliant bit of reading of the play by Harry Maguire. And then Jorginho had to chop Lingard down after a good run. I think Maguire's been very impressive, considering this is his first game in a United shirt full stop, let alone a Old Trafford debut, but he's not played in the pre-season at all. I think he's been just solid. Right, Pereira here. I mean, and this, I hope we start finding somebody who can deliver a decent ball into the box, because when you get free kicks in these areas, there's always that opportunity to knock it up onto that back post where Harry Maguire is now. Oh, decent cross that. Didn't work out quite well, but Pogba's got it on the edge. Wan-Bissaka. Now let's just keep hold of the ball. Lingard. See, every pass just is off today from United. Everyone's having to work hard to get the pass because they're not zipping it in correctly. Chelsea have been very accurate in their passing. Rashford. Just play a simple ball. That's a good ball. Pogba on the edge of the box on the right-hand side. Cross comes in. Maguire needs someone to lay it off to. Rashford. Would you try James on the left midfield and Pogba on the right, says James King. Pogba on the right wing? I don't know whether that would work. And Ollie's tactics are as bad as our midfield. Pogba don't look good playing deep in our midfield and mid-table this year, says David C. We are winning at the moment, you know. Sarcasm for sure. Still so much to improve, says the Machine 94. Yeah, well, we know that. But a little bit of possession for United here. McTominay's done really well into the box, and then he loses it. I think we're just in the final third. The reason United don't create many chances is we're just very unsure what to do. Bit of pressure from United there, says Corinthians 1910. Good to see. A bit of pressure. You'd hope, the way this has gone, Chelsea have been so in control of the game, you'd hope that United are going to get a point in this game where it starts to little click a little bit. Because I think if we can get that second goal, it's over, isn't it? Ball over the top. Lingard, comfortable. Who is playing better, says Fayaz Ahmed. I'd say Chelsea have been the better team. Yeah, their passing's just been a lot better. Their positioning, their tactics has been a lot better. United just... I don't know whether we are all at sea, but we just... Because the build-up play and the passing's been bad, it's just... The eye then wanders to the fact of who's playing where, and everything's breaking down too fast. Good defensive header by Wan-Bissaka. I mean, good save by De Gea from... Emerson's had the freedom of bloody Old Trafford. I can't believe tactically. Got to do something on the right wing. I'm going to have to tweet that out. But they've got to do something about it, because Emerson's just got the freedom of the pitch. And basically it's because we're not playing with the right winger. Pereira and Lingard are just playing very, very centrally, and it's allowing them to come down the flanks. And Wan-Bissaka's having to do the job of two people. Put James and Greenwood on, says Alex Mal. But does, I understand that. I love them. I love James and Greenwood. They're very, very exciting. But is that gonna change the fact that our midfield's being dominated? You know what I mean? That's the weakness United have got at the moment. We can't... Chelsea just winning everything and then just keep coming at us again and again and again and again. Midfield is a massive problem for United. Like, we should have bought a midfielder and a centre defensive midfielder. Oh, ref. McTominay looks like he's got really hurt bad there. To be fair, I don't think there was a lot in it from Abraham, but it's a yellow card. We're toothless, Mark, says Robin Van Persie. I ain't got anything against Pogba, Pereira, McTominay. I ain't got anything against them. This is about lack of investment in the midfield. It's not going to be good enough unless these players really start to improve massively and get amazing consistency, because we're giving up so many chances. I never thought Chelsea would have as many shots as they've had in this game at Old Trafford. I thought, Tammy Abraham, Pedro, Mason Mount, they're all relatively inexperienced, but I'm just looking on here. So attacking wise, 12 shots to our 6. I mean, that's crap. Absolutely crap. Pulisic is coming on for Barkley now as well. 12 shots to 6 at Old Trafford. The away team has had 12 shots to our 6. Possession, they're nearly getting up to 60% again. 350 passes to our 260. So they've done it's really poor, really poor. I mean, we know we're a work in progress. I'm not going to go too mad on it, but a lot of that comes from the midfield and an inability to keep hold of the ball. Like Pogba there is just giving the ball away again. Just can't keep hold of the ball. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. But this is because we didn't buy in the midfield, and if Ollie agreed with that, then he's an idiot. But I don't think he did. I don't think the board backed him in the transfer market. And I think he's just covering up for them because that's what he's got to do, because he can't be negative, and I agree with that. Get Matic on for Pogba. God, are we that desperate? To be honest with you, I think Look, I really hope it happens because we all want United to win. Well, most of us do. But I can see United, for all this play, Chelsea's naivety will lose this 2-0 and let the next goal in, even though they've not been the best side. Pulisic has just been barged by Pogba. I don't think it was a yellow card. No. Well, we've had an hour of the game now, so it's now where you've got to start looking about substitutions. But the only substitute, well, if you make substitutions, Daniel James and Mason Greenwood are inexperienced players, so you're chucking them into a big game. Or Matic and Mata, who I just don't think are going to give us much in a game like this, because Chelsea are moving the ball around so fast that I don't think Matic and Mata are going to be useful because they're so slow. Yeah, they're experienced, but they're so slow. The passing of United has been abysmal, though. Absolutely abysmal. That's a good ball by Pogba. I thought it was going to be a terrible ball, but it turned into a really good ball to Luke Shaw, and it's changed the play well. Just keep hold of the ball, Rashford, here. Oh, Pereira, he's won it back at least. Wide ball, good ball, McTominay. Jose's spot on about Shaw, absolute liability, says Jack Lee. Oh, don't listen to Mourinho. He was a bloody liability himself. United have got a corner here. Well, this is it. Corner ball, Andres Pereira, Harry Maguire. Douan says that Pogba's head's not in the game. I would like to review Pogba in a few weeks' time. I don't think you can say it after one game, because I think you can see what you want to see in a game like this. I just think that the whole midfield has been dominated by a better midfield. But this is you've got to take advantage of these sort of things. Pereira, Mcguire wins it, but no one's there for the second ball. Good pressing by Pogba. And it'll be a throw into United. So 61 minutes gone. United still 1-0 up. Paul Chadwick says Mourinho can do one. Yeah, I've got people on about this. Oh, Mourinho's on Sky today. Why am I interested in a man who basically screwed up the opportunity of a lifetime and turned us into Mourinho United? I'm not interested in anything Jose Mourinho's got to say about United. He got sacked because he was crap. Why would I listen to anything he's got to say? But people are still doing it. Oh, Jose said this about Luke Shaw. So bloody what? He's been sacked. He's irrelevant. I don't care what he says about Manchester United, man. He had his chance and he blew it. I'm not bothered what he's got to say. Bottom line, you're not a very good team if your best players are constantly defenders. That's been us for years. Frustrated FC, says Alligator. Yeah. Pereira equals pre-season Perlo, says Abdi Adima. Should play Fred, says Dogfather. Fred's not even on the bench. I keep saying this from my interpretation, from what I've seen at United. I don't think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rates Fred. I don't. I wish he was on the bench though, because he's the sort of player you'd like to bring on. He's got a bit of pace about him, a bit of tenacity, and unfortunately we haven't got any, or even a Delo, just someone like that. I don't see anybody that can come into the midfield and give us a bit of pace. Chelsea on the attack again. Good block by Wan-Bissaka. Chelsea winning second balls all over the park as well, keeping the ball, moving it around nicely. I ain't gonna lie, they've been the better team. They have been the better team. There's no doubt about it. Greenwood time, says KFCL Henton. Bills fan 7883 says that Tammy Abraham's not impressed him. The problem is when they bring Giroud on, he's a threat in a different sort of way, isn't he? But it's just all Chelsea again. Look at this. Look at this. Good tackle by Maguire. Now, this is where United have got to be brave on the break. Rashford, look to your left. Oh, he's overpassed it again. It's always that. This is it. All our passing is. If you've just got our passing right. Pereira, that's a good cross. Martial, I told you. 2-0 Manchester United. Pereira with the cross. Anthony Martial, call a doctor. Fact, call the police. There's been a murder. Chelsea have been murdered in this game. Not in the way they thought they were going to be. They've absolutely dominated. They've been arrogant. They've left the back door open thinking no one's going to burgle us. And we've burgled you. 2-0. We've played like the away side. But Martial has probably put this game to bed in a game we've not played very well, but we're a work in progress. And I said this 10 minutes ago. I've got a funny feeling Chelsea's naivety, domination of the ball without putting the ball in the back of the net is going to come back and hurt them. We've seen this time and time again with United. They'll stay in a game. It's like a boxing match. Punch me in the head, punch me in the head, punch me in the head. I'll come back and I'll knock you out, mofo. And that's what's happened. And that's a great cross by Pereira. That's what he can do. And it's a tap-in for Martial. Fantastic. Manchester United 2-0. And we could have a very, very, very significant 3 points here. A very, very... Well, you'd fancy it with our defence to see that game out now. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0. Solskjaer is happy. We're happy. It's been a tough game to watch, but it's not all about that, is it? It's about what you do on the pitch. It's about putting that ball in that back of that net. Giroud is on. Tammy Abraham is off. It's 3! It's 3-0 Manchester United. I was changing the score and Marcus Rashford's just made it 3-0. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what happens when you go to sleep at the back. It's not a 3-0 game, but it is 3-0 because it says it is. And Chelsea have gone to sleep here. I must admit, so had I. I was looking at the bloody screen. I was trying to update the score. Lampard, you see, I told you. Inexperience and naivety, you can pass the ball around as much as you like. But if you're clinical, you go on and you build. And that's what it's all about. United having a little chat amongst themselves. But this is. Let's see this back. It's United knocking the ball around nicely. The ball by Pogba, world class. It's a world class ball by Pogba. That's why it's gone so quick. And Rashford's there. And for all the criticism that Pogba's had in this game, lovely little bit of play. And this is why it works. United should focus on this. Simple ball. Pogba's ball. Rashford through the middle. 3-0. Manchester United. Easy work. That's how it goes. That is how it goes. And I am updating the score, everybody. I'm sorry, Chelsea, but I'm not. It's 3-0. Manchester United. And they're gone. They're absolutely gone. Well, this is now the time where you can bring a Mason Greenwood on. How football changes, hey. Give me that pipe. Give me a pipe and slippers. It's on. But yeah, look, that pass by Pogba. Well, what a pass. What a pass by Paul Pogba to make that happen. And Chelsea, to be honest with you, the second goal kills the game. And I think Chelsea, inexperienced, oh, woe is me. We've passed the ball around really well. So what? Welcome to the real world. You're going to get beat quite convincingly. And, you can say it's not a 3-0 scoreline. Hello, it is. It is 3-0. That's what it is. And you can say, well, United have been lucky, but we scored three legit goals. And to be honest with you, I probably deserve a pat on the back because I did say the problem with Chelsea is, for me, as an outsider looking in, I wonder whether they have got the what do you call it? The ability in the final third to score goals now that Hazard's gone. And it doesn't look like they do. I think they're going to be a good footballing side, but I think they're going to struggle to score goals. And that's the end of the day. Zuma heads one over there, but this is 3 points for United, and it's a massive 3 points for United. And Torella JT says, I love this game. Our weakness midfield, Chelsea's defence, says Steve Wynyard. Exactly. I think Chelsea are vulnerable at the back as well. But you'd be right pissed off if you were Lampard. Like, you'd be like going, how am I losing this game 3-0? We've absolutely played United off the park for periods of the time, but United have this way of not creating many chances but being clinical when they do. And I tell you what, with a strong defence and a strike force that can score goals, I mean, it's only the opening day. Rashford's got 2, Martial's got 1. People are like, oh, they can't score 20 goals. That's the challenge to them. That's the challenge to them. Finally, some great passing, says Xander Vicky. Well, the third goal was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The interchanging between Wan-Bissaka and Lingard and then the pass by Pogba to Rashford. It's absolutely brilliant. But here's Chelsea on the break with Pedro. This could be a goal. Missed the pass to Giroud. Overplayed it. You see, Chelsea in the final third, not all that. Lots and lots of shots. Let's have a look. Remember, you can download the OneFootball app. The link in the video description. Please do. It's free. Get all your latest Manchester United news on there. Just going to have a quick look at the stats, actually. So it's 3-0 to Manchester United. Chelsea have still had 60% possession. They've still had 13 shots to our 8. We've both had 4 shots on target. We've got 3 goals. They've got none. Passing-wise, 430... I mean, Chelsea played 432 passes. United have not even played 300. You know, there's a lesson there for Chelsea, isn't there? It's about final ball, final product. And United, to me, I don't think United have played that well. I think there's so much room for improvement. But then you beat Chelsea 3-0. It's like, I'll have some of that, missus. I'd much rather be United not played that well, win 3-0, than Chelsea really played really well and get beat 3-0. You know, because we can improve. We can improve. What are Chelsea going to do? Yeah, they can improve, but it's a bit of a blow. And confidence is a big thing in football. Like, yeah, you know, is it going to... What's that going to do for Chelsea fans today? Oh, you played really well. On another day, you might have won that game. You played United off the park for times. Yeah, but we've just got beat. You know, United, yeah, we could have played better, but screw it, we won 3-0. And and I said this before as well. In the bigger picture of the season, Chelsea versus United as an opening game of the season, it's a bit of a head mess, really, because you're like, oh, it's only the opening game of the season, but really, Chelsea at Old Trafford, if that's April, March, or wherever, you're like, oh, that's a massive 3-pointer. If we win that, we can get top 4. So winning a game like this at the start of the season, we won't appreciate it, but it's massive because Chelsea are a rival. We don't know where we're going to finish. A lot of people think United are going to finish 5th or 6th, and today doesn't change that, but Chelsea are probably going to finish 5th or 6th as well. So we've just whacked them 3-0 at our place. It gives us an advantage on one of our top 6 rivals straight away. Kante's coming on for Chelsea. Let's hear what Jose has got to say now, shall we, says Reece Gregory. Yeah, look, United are a work in progress. You'll know all I've said throughout this game is our midfield is weak. But we knew the midfield was weak 3 weeks ago. We knew the midfield was weak 4 months ago. But I've chosen not to be ultra negative, and Daniel James is coming on now. I've chosen not to be ultra negative because it is what it is. We've got what we've got because of what the board have provided us with. We know that situation, and it is what it is. And these players, we've got to trust in these players, and we've got to keep going with these players. So that's what we've got to do. Andres Pereira's coming off for Daniel James. Assist. You know, and for me, I'm going to talk about this in the match reaction. You know, Pereira, there was points in that second half where I was saying, he ain't going to be good enough, he ain't going to be good enough. But that's the whole point. You keep going with them. You keep going with them. He gets an assist and you think, you know what, we've got something to improve on there because some of these lads are only going to get better if we play them week in, week out. Charles B, Martial got 9 shirt, time for Greenwood to get the number 7, says Charles B. Early days, it's early days. And I think the lows of that game we shouldn't get over worried about, and the highs of the game we shouldn't get over worried about. Wolves next week is going to be a really tough game, but starting this game, if we can get I think the big thing for me now is, can we get a clean sheet? Can we get a clean sheet? That would be a real big bonus. But just ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic with the way this has gone. Something to build on. You just want something to build on. You just want something to fight for. And I think our midfield is really weak. And I don't think any of us are going to pretend that it's not. But we just want something to be able to build on. And Confidence can give you so much in a game of this, in this game of football that we love. Confidence can bring so much. Especially for the likes of people like a Marcus Rashford and an Anthony Martial and a Scott McTominay and Andreas Pereira. There's so many, and a Lingard. There's so many people in that team that are coming off a bad season, or they're new, or they're inexperienced, and the only way they're going to get better is by playing more games and having confidence. And I'm very, very, very pleased with this result. You can't argue with any of the goals. They were legit goals. It was a legit penalty. It was a legit set up and finish for Martial. It was a legit brilliant goal for Rashford. So yeah, I'm happy with it, and I hope that we, the best thing about it for me is that we have that game against who we got, Wolves next week, and that to me is the perfect game to play because it's a tough game away from home. So we won't. You're not going to get away with playing like that in the midfield every week. So we're going to have to improve, and I think Ollie will take so much from it. But Rashford's on a hat trick, fantastic. Mcguire has been calm and collected. Great signings, says Brandon Slaughter. Look, I wouldn't say he looks like an £80 million player yet, but he looks like a player that's massively improved us, as does Wan-Bissaka. I think today, the way Chelsea have played, if they'd been going up against Ashley Young and Phil Jones, it would have been a different story. Jose would be fuming. Pogba with the assist. Rashford scores. Martial scores. No Matic, no Fellaini, no Lukaku, still winning 3-0. Exactly. I ain't interested in what Mourinho's got to say. Let him talk about Chelsea. I ain't bothered about what Mourinho's got to say. Maguire looking like a real leader, says Abby Adame. And all these players are going to grow in confidence. And it's a long time since United have beaten a team 3-0 like Chelsea, isn't it? I tell you what, who the best player on the pitch is. Do you want to vote? You can. This is another good thing on the OneFootball app. Actually, throughout the game, you can vote for your player of the game so far, and I can tell you, at the moment, Marcus Rashford is comfortably winning. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's in second place, Mason Mount in third place, and Harry Maguire at the moment is out there in front. For me, I wouldn't have Rashford man of the match. I think it's been good. Anyway, here's a corner. Can Harry Maguire get a debut goal? No, because it's not a very good cross, because Pereira's gone off now. I think it was Daniel James who took it. Look how quick Harry Maguire gets back there as well. What I like about Harry Maguire is when he gets the ball, he never just wants to hoof it. Even whether he heads it or passes it, he always wants to find a player. This is just great, says Jay Andrews. Hi, Mark. Chelsea getting battered, says Herb Glens. We're going to do well in the Europa, says Manchester United fan. We're going to have to work on that midfield, but it's a massive step forward for United. This is to get a significant win like this. I hope the confidence just builds. You look at McTominay there. He's pulling people about. Look, McTominay's not the finished article by any means, but it's all about building on it. It's all about confidence. And Lindelof and Maguire, they just both want to play out from the back all the time, which is refreshing when a lot of centre-backs just want to hit it and hope. Good start to the season to comfortably beat a top 4 challenger, says John Miller. Look, I wouldn't say we've comfortably beaten a top 4 challenger. The score says we have, but it's not. There's a lot of room for improvement, but you're right, it's a fantastic win. And it'll be a hammer blow for Chelsea, and for us, it's massive, massive confidence, isn't it? Be interested to see what the fans in the ground are going to say. Remember, we've got the fan cams coming for you after this, but United have made a mistake here. Good tackle by Luke Shaw and Pogba now. Nice ball. Move the match stats out of the way. Rashford's going for a hat-trick here. Oh, he doesn't get stuck under his feet. Probably a bit greedy. Martial wasn't happy, but he is going for a hat-trick. I think there's another goal in this game. I do. What I like about James is that he will actually attack on the right. Biggie third, you're falling into the trap again. Good that we're winning, but we're still a counter-attacking team. Where is the possession Ollie was bringing? Says Biggie third. Look, I don't think anyone's falling into any trap, Biggie. I don't think anyone's falling into any trap. Would you be surprised if we went to Wolves next season and got beat because the midfield's not good enough? No, I wouldn't. But on the other hand, we might use this confidence and build on this performance and go and get maybe a draw or a win there. So, which would be a very good start for the season for us. So, look, let's just take it as the first step that it is. I think that's all we can do. I have to admit my own bias and ignorance, but I never thought Maguire was the steady and commanding. Hope he continues to prove me wrong, says Alligator. See, a lot of people didn't want Maguire, but I like Maguire. I've always liked Maguire. But nice of you to say that, you've been surprised by him, and I hope he keeps surprising us all. I just think for Maguire, this is the step up that he wants. He's England's centre-back, isn't he? So this is the step up that he wants. It's a chance for him to improve. Right, I'm going to bring Drawty into the show now. Can you hear me? Oh.
Yep, sorry, I had you on mute.
Right. And there's a player down for Chelsea here. I'm sure the referee's going to pull it back in a minute. Oh, what a run this is. If Pogba's got the legs. He hasn't quite. Oh, he has. James, hit it. Yes! Daniel James, come on. Have some of that,
Get in there, lad.
Right.
Get in there.
Absolutely brilliant. I said there was another goal in it. Pogba fed him in. He shoots. I think the keeper gets a hand on it, but that's the creme de la creme. Well, it's the icing on the cake with a cherry on it. The Welsh wizard, the new Welsh wizard, the little lad from Swansea. He's put it in. What a boyo. He deserves something tonight. Get him a shandy. He's old enough to have a pint. Lovely. Absolutely brilliant. And Chelsea are going to be absolutely gutted, Drawty, but to be honest with you, I don't really care. We've conquered. And this is the thing about confidence, isn't it? You know, I think at 1-0, Chelsea were absolutely all over us, but since it went to 2-0, we've took hold of this game and just hit them clinically on the break, and that's what football's all about. It can change very, very, very quickly.
Do you know what? I'm so happy for Daniel James, because that's going to do him the world of good. You know, his proper Premier League debut, and he scored a goal at Old Trafford against Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know, it's brilliant. And honestly, with Rashford getting his brace as well, and Tony Martial getting his goal, now he's got his number 9 back. Honestly, you couldn't ask for anything better. So
the goal difference as well. I mean, nobody expected us to beat Chelsea like this. And I think it's because their confidence has just gone and their heads have dropped. And I'm sure Lampard will be absolutely furious with them. But I'm not bothered about Chelsea's problems. I think Chelsea have played really well, but on the other hand, they've embarrassed themselves with their naivety, and that's their problem to deal with. But from a United point of view, that second goal killed the game, and then we've just gone and killed it even more. To get 4 goals, that could be really important towards the end of the season. I said this before, you know, if Liverpool or Arsenal or City drop points on the opening day, they know that could be significant in May because it was 1 point between them. Same for us. You look at how close the top 4 was last year. 4 goals and 3 points against a rival for the top 6. It's pretty significant.
Yeah, well, considering Liverpool won 4-1 yesterday and Chelsea, Man City won 5-0. Liverpool Friday, didn't they? Honestly, winning 4-0 against Chelsea sends out a message. And the thing is, if you can win 4-0 against Chelsea whilst in the first half they weren't that great, United, it bodes well. And, you know, it just shows that the guys can be clinical when we need it. And, you know, everyone was worried, where's the goals going to come? Well, first game of the season is 4-0. So, you know, we can't say any fairer than that. And to be honest with you, I'm really happy for Ollie right now because that's the best start he could have. So perfect for me. Perfect.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a funny game, but I just think we should ignore the negativity. I mean, look, the only thing I wouldn't ignore is the fact that the midfield's a bit of a concern. But we've got Wolves next season, so anybody who's saying, it's papering the cracks or anything, going to Wolves, we won't paper the cracks. So maybe we get beat by Wolves next season, and maybe the midfield is a problem, or maybe the midfield was a problem today, but the confidence goes up and they start to build from it. And I think we are a work in progress, and that's what we've got to do. We've got some inexperienced new players, an inexperienced manager, but let's just go and build it.
Honestly, I think at the moment it doesn't matter. It's all about the result right now, and 4-0 is a fantastic result. So regardless of the issue possibly in the first half where, it was a little bit slow, possession wasn't great. At the end of the day, it's first game of the season and it's about getting that win. And if you can win, with some comfort and get enough goals under your belt, then look, it's only going to help the lads. Daniel James, that's fantastic for him. Marcus Rashford, he's shown that he can be clinical when he needs to be in this opening match. So right now, I think the most important thing is to see this match out and get a clean sheet, because that'll do Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and the rest of the guys a load of good too.
Well, De Gea's just made a very good save here from, I think it's from, I don't know who it is, Jorginho maybe. But it's not like Chelsea haven't had their chances, because they have.
Yeah, they've come knocking. They've hit the post twice. De Gea had to make a save with his feet. So it's... I just think, 4-0 is the perfect scoreline. Obviously we want 5. Everyone wants 5 and 6. But to win 4-0 against Chelsea... Okay, well, that's...
Well, at 4-0,
nothing wrong with that.
You want to be bringing
nothing wrong with that.
Give them a bit of game time.
Hey, look, normally this stage we'd be bringing on Fellaini. So it's not like we got a 0-0.
So Rashford comes off. He won't get his hat trick, but to be honest with you, do you think Rashford can get 20 goals this season? He's got 2 already.
Oh, he only needs another 18 more. So
I think he will.
Why?
I think he will, and I think Martial might do it as well.
You reckon?
Yeah, I just think that people are they can't do it. I mean, one of the big things about like Romelu Lukaku, I think he had 1 goal in 17 games against the top 6. Marcus Rashford today, top 6, 2 goals. Martial, 1 goal. And you can say what you like about Lukaku, but he just seemed to struggle against the top 6 sides. Whereas these young lads, I think Martial and Rashford were stunted by Mourinho. I think they were really good young lads under Van Gaal, and something went wrong under Mourinho. And I think Ollie, they lost sort of 2 years of their career, and they're just working their way back under Ollie. And I think if they can get that consistency and belief, and that's got to come from games. It's the same as McTominay. It's the same as Pereira. They've just got to. You've got to let them make mistakes, and you've got to keep picking them. That's what this season's all about.
Yeah, I think at the moment, just he needs to stick with this now, because for the next game, really, he shouldn't be bringing in any. Because if you just Chelsea 4-0, like you said with the midfield, we need to give it a go. There's a lot of love going on for Greenwood in the live comments, by the way.
Yeah, we all love Greenwood, don't we? Oh, he nearly got on the end of a cross from Wan-Bissaka there.
Yeah, well, he's a fucking phenomenal young talent. So it's going to be exciting to see how he does this. So, and it would be nice to see if he could break into a front three with Rashford and Martial. So, but yeah, it's been, for me, you can't really have any complaints about this performance, regardless of how people think the first half, how slow it was or possession based. It's a 4-0 win, if they can see this out and not concede, is a good one.
Yeah, I think the clean sheet is. I think we will get it, and I think it is very important to just make it that overall rounded performance for United. And I think a lot of people will get pissed off, and I think that's always a good thing. I mean, rivals will get pissed off, and I think that's always a good thing, because you're doing something right then.
Yeah, and I think this kind of sends out a message to the Premier League that all of a sudden United, not to be taken lightly. I think we've become a little bit of a joke in the last couple of years. So, and I think the fear factor at Old Trafford certainly had gone. I think teams thought they could just play against United and we'd probably roll over. Especially towards the end of last season, there was no fear factor at all. So this sends down a good marker for the season. Let's not get carried away and be like, oh yeah, we're going to go win the league or anything like that. But it's a damn good start.
Yeah, Chelsea keeping on to the ball here.
Well, they just don't want to concede 5, do they? Thing is, there's a lot of pace on for United right now.
Well, I think that, you talk about the fear factor there, and obviously that's very, very important. Oh, I thought they'd scored there. The fear factor is very important, but I think teams will be fearful of United that, they'll have watched this game and gone, you know what, Chelsea for long periods with a better team, and then United go and beat them 4-0. And it just shows you that, if United can give up possession, but they can really hurt you very, very quickly. And, you look at that third goal from Rashford, that's 2-0, and then Pogba plays a ball like that, and you're suddenly 3-0 down. That's what teams will be scared of with United, and they'll be like, you know what, we can have all the passing we like, but look at what they might do to us.
But at the end of the day, last season, remember when we played really well against Spurs and then we ended up losing, was it 3-0? 3-1? So that's because our defence was just shot. Now we've actually proper defence. So even if we do have a dodgy game, we can rely on Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw to put in a shift. Wan-Bissaka today's been brilliant, and Maguire, I don't think he's put a foot wrong. So in terms of improvement over the summer, I know we need midfield, but you always need to build from the back. And if you've got centre-backs who really can bring the ball out and give us some strength and stability, well, that's only going to breathe confidence throughout the squad. So for me, I mean, there's a few people in the live comments saying Mcguire man of the match. How do you feel about that?
I can't give my man of the match away until I do my match reaction. It's one of my little things that I keep back for it. But I think there's a few candidates. I mean, look, the One Football app's got Rashford down there. Remember to download the One Football app. Actually, I'm going to go to the stats in a moment. But there's a few candidates today, and it's nice to have that conversation because I think so often for United we automatically know who the man of the match is going to be because everyone else has played below par. So yeah, it's good that there is going to be a bit of a debate with that.
I think for me, you got to give it to Maguire for first game. No, I'm going to give it to Rashford. He's got a brace. You always.
But you could say Wan-Bissaka as well. You could easily say that.
Yeah, to be fair, you could say Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and Rashford for man of the match. Yeah. So any three of them, and I think Maguire would be happy. Even Pogba, with his lovely assist. It's kind of. I don't think anyone's
done well today. I think a lot of people were saying he's had a bad game. I just think the midfield. I don't think we need to pick on McTominay, Pereira, and Pogba. I said it before. Like Pereira's got an assist, and there was times in that second half I was like, oh, he's just not had a good game. But then it is that perseverance and sticking with the right midfield. Like Matic would not have done any better. He would have done worse. Fred's not even on the bench. So those three players are the right choices, and we've just got to, we didn't buy any midfielders. Ollie wasn't given any other midfielders. That's the situation. So we've got to stick with these players. We've got no other choice. And Martial, he's offside. So yeah, I think Pogba just kept at it. He's got himself a great assist there. United just cannot let him go.
No, United definitely can't let him go now. But the good thing about this result is maybe that actually helps him clear where his head needs to be at. Because if he's thinking, okay, well, we just won 4-0 against Chelsea, maybe this isn't going to be a complete car crash of a season, as some people were predicting. So I kind of think for Pogba, this result actually helps him to make up his mind of where he needs to be. And maybe it settles him down, maybe it settles some of the nerves down in the squad. But more importantly, for Ollie, it's just a great start to the season. And to be honest with you, the personnel he's chosen for this match are great. His substitutions have obviously worked. Daniel James with his goal. So, to be honest with you,
Juan's just said that. He says the subs alone show the change of mindset. Jose would have started subbing strikers for defensive players after the first goal. Exactly. I think that's a fantastic comment. I think under Jose, the way we were playing and the way Chelsea were dominating the ball at 1-0, I think you're right. He would have made defensive changes to try and see it out. And then you look at the contrast. We didn't do that. We kept waiting, and then we've gone and scored a goal ourselves.
So, and that just shows that Ollie's mentality in terms of substitutions is a positive one. So, you can't fault him for that. So today, for me, Marcus Rashford, man of the match, and then it's a close second, Wan-Bissaka. But other than that, I think his job done.
It's a fantastic way to end the opening weekend of the season. I thought, the football season's a 38-game season, and I think if we played like we did in this game, every game, we would lose some games because some teams will have better ability in the final third, which I don't think Chelsea have. Having said that, we're going to play a lot of teams that don't play as well as Chelsea did in the way they move the ball around. Chelsea pressed us really well and they moved the ball around really well. So it swings and roundabouts. I said it after the Villa-Spurs games yesterday. I said Villa will stay up because they're not going to play Spurs every week, who are a very good team. And if they play like that against Bournemouths and Sheffield Uniteds, they'll win those games. So United, that's why it's a big 3 points. And a good save from De Gea again.
I think it's good to see De Gea back playing well because, he got a lot of flack last season. But do you not think, in terms of if you're going to gauge where we are at the moment, I know it's only the first game of the season, Chelsea have just lost 4-0 against Man United, who considered last season were pretty bad. So that puts a lot of pressure on Lampard. In terms of
he'll be sacked tomorrow. Knowing Abramovich, that's it. He's had his chance. He'll be sacked.
He's gone.
That is
He's
full
out
time.
of there.
That is full time. So it stays Manchester United 4, Chelsea 0. Absolutely fantastic result for Manchester United. I'm still setting up the match reaction stream, so you can have a few words, Draughty, if you like.
So 4-0 for Manchester United against Chelsea. Brilliant result. It's exactly the start that United needed, and already up to second in the table. How about that? So we'll be getting a nosebleed up there, won't we? So guys in the live comments, everyone's looking really happy. Sally, Devil Red, Roadrunner, the full-time. A lot of people saying brilliant start. Chelsea pepped blood, presence blood. Pogba, glory, Man United. Let's go. Wan-Bissaka has slight cramp from Roadrunner. I think he should be okay. Dream start. Definitely, you can't argue with that. It has been a dream start for Manchester United today. So it's 3 points, it's 4 goals, and it's a clean sheet. Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka get their first clean sheets of their Manchester United careers. So, other than that, there's no negatives. There can't be any negatives. Just enjoy the results, guys. So, great win for the club, great win and start for the season. So, job done as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I thought that the way United went about it after that second goal, the graph that they put in was good, and I thought that the you can't argue with a result like that. I think we're right to have a few concerns about the squad in general, but as we've been saying for the last couple of days, it was never a concern that was aimed at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the players anyway. We know that the players have their limitations. That's just the way it is, and we know that we're going to have to be patient with them. And I just hope that I thought Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got his team selection right, and I hope he sticks with this team, and I hope that they can build on that, because to win a game like that 4-0, I know people will say, "Oh, Chelsea did this, Chelsea did that." Well, Chelsea lost 4-0. Like, there was no dodgy goal in there. They were legit goals, and Chelsea did have a lot of possession. But last time I checked, you win games by putting the ball in the back of the net. They failed to do it, and we did it 4 times, and that's what happened.
At the end of the day, if people are saying, like, the first half wasn't that great, if you can do that and come through and win 4-0, then you're doing something right. Exactly. And Ollie knows the club inside out. He's worked under Sir Alex. He knows about the youth and playing the right players in the right positions. There's there were a lot of people saying, Ollie's probably just a yes man. I don't believe he is a yes man. I think he's just everyone positive, because obviously Jose went down the route of slating everyone and got completely hammered for it in the end. So to be honest with you, just take the positives from today and leave it at that.
Yeah, definitely. Right, we're going to conclude the stream there. I have got my match reaction coming up for you in about 60 seconds time. Thanks for Draughty just giving me a few bit of space there to set it all up. Link in the video description. We'll be talking about the match reaction. We'll be talking about the game. We're talking about man of the match. We're doing the player ratings and all that jazz. But fantastic stream. Brilliant to have all the new graphics. Really appreciate that from Draughty. Nice for him to be on with us today as well. And look, a massive win for United. We'll be digesting that soon. Thanks everyone who's watched the live match watch along. We're now going to do the match reaction. Then we've got fan cams coming up for you. Lots and lots of content on the United stand. So make sure you are subscribing if you are new. And I'll see you on the match reaction. Link in the video description in about 60 seconds. Thanks for watching, and thanks for coming on, Draughty.
Cheers. Go do your reaction.
Cheers, pal. I've got to remember how I stop a stream on this.